Hey guys, tonight we step into the steamy haze of a Roman bathhouse in Pompeii around 70 CE, where the air hums with the scent of olive oil and fresh-baked bread, and the soft clink of coins echoes under a mosaic-tiled ceiling. It's a bustling evening, the torchlight casting shadows as you sit beside a hidden snack stall, its vendor offering honeyed figs to a weary merchant, his eyes drooping under the weight of the hour. These stalls aren't just food stops. They're quiet havens serving bites that calm the sleepless souls of bathers. Fair warning, you probably won't survive a Roman night without a good snack. Sleep apps weren't exactly trending, so before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with your location and local time. I'd love to know where you're drifting off from. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're perched on a stone bench by the stall, your hands brushing the warm tiles, the torchlight dancing on the vendor's tunic as he slices a loaf of crusty bread, its rhythmic crunch soothing a tired soldier slumped nearby, his breathing slowing under the spell of the night's fare. Historical records confirm that Roman bathhouses central to social life across the empire from the 1st century CE often housed secret snack stalls tucked in alcoves to serve bathers seeking nourishment and calm after long soaks, a vital part of urban relaxation. These morsels, you learn, aren't just sustenance. They're the heartbeat of the bathhouse, tying the vendor to his patrons, his city, and the quiet nights of Roman life far beyond the Egyptian grain markets or Persian spice trades. You lean closer, the stall's olive scent tickling your nose, the vendor's movements a steady dance as he drizzles honey on figs, guiding a young bathhouse attendant to hum a soft work song, her eyelids fluttering as the slicing's rhythm lulls her. The bathhouse smells of damp stone and herbs, and you chuckle imagining napping. By this stall, fig snoring blues would keep you up till dawn. The quirky truth is that some Roman vendors used bite-chance humming specific rhythms to maintain a steady pace, believing a full moon enhanced a snack's calming power, thought to deepen its comfort. You picture a star winking, keep slicing and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the bread's pulse, its rhythm a lifeline in the dark, unlike the Byzantine folder's petty gripes about dates or the Vikings' knot pulses. The attendant's sighs soften and you shift toward the stall's edge, where another vendor joins his hands shaping a street loaf, a simple bread for a traveler's meal, his hum blending with the bathhouse's steam offering, calm to a tired scribe leaning against the wall. You squint at the fig, sticky sweet, a bit daunting, and feel a pang as the night breeze rustles the curtain carrying the vendor's next chant, this one for communal serenity. Historians still argue whether Roman snack stalls were primarily practical feeding hungry bathers or therapeutic soothing the restless with their rhythm. You're leaning toward therapeutic, feeling the vendor's care, his bread a prayer to the night's quiet, like the Malian griot's Korah myths, though here it's crumbs, not strings that guide the way. You pause by a stack of amphorae, the bathhouse's warmth deepening as more bathers drift in each, seeking the stall's morsels to quiet their minds, the air thick with murmured thanks and the scent of warm bread. You laugh softly, thinking how your phone's white noise app would make a terrible Roman snack. Sorry, no epic about app naps. The Roman craft is different. Its bathhouses a symphony of steam and snack, turning the night into a canvas of peace that feeds both body and soul. You yawn, the steam's hiss, and the distant chant blending with the bathhouse's quiet, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to those bite chants, their delicate spark guiding morsels, and realize this art isn't just snacking. It's comfort, each bite a stitch in the Roman dream. You glance at the vendor, his hands steady, the bread's crunch, a quiet pulse, the soldier now asleep by the tiles, the Viking woven myths, a distant echo, but the snacks are the bathhouse's heartbeat, binding Romans to the night to calm. You laugh again, imagining explaining this to your mates. They snack by, humming, no big deal. The torchlight softens the slicing's rhythm, a gentle guide, and you drift closer to slumber, the scent of olive oil and the snack's cadence a lullaby in Pompeii's endless night. You're still perched on the stone bench in the Roman bathhouse in Pompeii around 70 CE, where the air carries the heady scent of olive oil and the faint steam from heated pools, the torchlight flickering across the mosaic-tiled walls, its gentle glow mingling with the steady hum of a vendor slicing bread at a hidden snack stall. The street loaf rests, its crusty echo a tender memory, but now you lean closer, drawn to the nightly rhythm of these snacks, their role in soothing the sleepless souls who linger in the bathhouse's warm embrace, each bite a gentle balm for their restless minds. The steam's hiss and the vendor's soft chant blend into a soothing cadence, and you're ready to uncover this nocturnal art. You shift on the bench, your hands brushing the warm tiles, the torchlight illuminating the vendor, a man with a voice like a smoldering hearth, as he prepares a tray of honeyed dates, offering them to a weary philosopher who slumps by the stall, his eyes heavy with gratitude as a snack's sweetness fills the air. Historical records confirm that Roman bathhouses integral to urban life across the empire from the 1st century CE served as social and relaxation hubs, with snack stalls providing nourishment to bathers who lingered late, their offerings a source of comfort in a society where insomnia was common among the stressed elite and workers alike. These nightly snacks, you learn, aren't just food, they're the pulse of the bathhouse, tying the vendor to his community, his city, and the endless cycle of Roman sleeplessness, far beyond the Greek agora's fruit stands or Persian caravan trades. You smirk as the philosopher, his toga slightly askew, asks if the dates will quiet my thoughts, earning a wry nod and a softer hum from the vendor, who weaves his jest into the bite-chance rhythm. "Keep it sweet, sleep seeker," you mutter, chuckling at his hopeful sigh. The quirky truth is that some vendors used calm chants, melodic patterns believed to infuse snacks with soothing properties, with one tale claiming a honey rest date tray eased a bathhouse's patrons during a festival's chaotic revelry. You picture a fig humming, sleep tight and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the vendor's dedication. His slicing a steady pulse, each morsel a spark of solace, not unlike the Mali and griot's soothing chorus songs, though here it's bread, not strings that binds. The vendor's chant shifts now, preparing a market tray of olives and bread for a late-night merchant, a recipe passed down from his father, its rhythm calming the philosopher's fidgeting, his eyes tracing the tray's careful arrangement. You lean against a marble column, its surface cool under your hands, and sense the deeper purpose. These nightly snacks weren't just sustenance, but sanctuary teaching, patience and trust in a world where long days or social pressures kept sleep at bay. The act feels both practical and communal, the vendor's rhythm a tool to ease worries of hunger or fatigue, while binding the bathhouse to Roman endurance. Historians still argue whether the snack stall's nightly role was primarily economic sustaining bathhouse commerce or social fostering bonds through shared comfort. You're leaning towards social feeling, the vendor's quiet bond with the philosopher, his tray akin to the Polynesian navigator's starlit myths, though here it's crumbs, not seas, that shape the way. You wander to the bathhouse's other side, where a younger vendor joins his hands arranging a traveler's bite of cheese and figs for a courier's family, his hum syncing with the pool's gentle lapping, guiding a boy to sprinkle herbs nearby. You laugh softly, imagining crafting your daily tasks with a song. Yeah, you'd get email, hum blues, and stressed. The Roman craft is different. Its bathhouses a cultural anchor, turning the night into a shared canvas of warmth, far beyond the Byzantine folders' petty disputes over dates or the Vikings' woven tales which seem distant against this homely art. The bathhouse's warmth surrounds you, a distant flute's note blending with the chant at the vendor's rhythm, a steady pulse, but his work feels like a sanctuary, its offerings a shield against the dark. You glance at the philosopher, his face softened, his breathing steady. The market tray's olives now savored the younger vendor's boy, now humming softly, learning the art of care. The master vendor begins another, this one a night bite for a sleepless poet, its cadence even softer, the philosopher's hands now still. You yawn, the steam's glow, and the vendor's hum blending with the bathhouse's stillness, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to those calm chants, the repetitive sparks soothing a revel, and realize these nightly tasks aren't just craft, they're devotion, each morsel a dose of communal hope, like the Inca quinoa chants sacred verses, both weaving calm into the toil. You notice a young girl, her fingers clumsy, dusting herbs for the traveler's bite, her hum echoing the vendor's as if the bathhouse shares a single lullaby. The Viking knot songs feel distant, but the snack's rhythm is the Roman's pulse, nurturing hearths where others would falter. You laugh again, picturing your local cafe humming Roman snacks. Sorry mate, you'd be stuck with latte, jingle blues, and failing. The Roman art is a marvel, its bathhouses a gentle guide, their rhythms a testament to imperial spirit, defying the city's sleepless nights where the Byzantine folder's complaints would fade. You linger by the stall, the vendor's voice steady as he hums the lamplight, casting shadows, the bathhouse now a hush of morsels, the city's nightly grind a faint echo, but the snack's rhythm carries you a craft that feeds heart and soul. Its nightly roll, the spark you'll soon see in its sacred essence, but you feel the weight of its communal intent, the bathhouse a haven in the steam, and you're ready to explore the divine rituals woven into these morsels. The stars gleam outside their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of olive oil, and the snack's rhythm a lullaby in Pompeii's endless night. You're still nestled in the steamy glow of the Roman bathhouse in Pompeii, around 70 CE, where the torchlight flickers across mosaic tiled walls, its warmth mingling with the scent of olive oil and the gentle hum of bathers soaking in heated pools. The vendor's night bite tray rests its nightly solace, a tender echo, but now you're drawn to a sacred alcove near the snack stall, where the master vendor, his hands dusted with flour, prepares a ritual, offering his fingers arranging honeyed figs with whispered intent under a small statue of Vesta. You're here to feel the divine essence of these snack rituals, their sacred role in Roman spiritual life, where each morsel's preparation connects the bathhouse to a higher calm, soothing the sleepless hearts of bathers. The steam's hiss and the vendor's murmured prayers blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to sense this holy craft. You settle on a woven mat near the alcove, your bare feet brushing the warm tiles, the torchlight casting shadows on the vendor. A man with a voice like a smoldering ember as he chants a hearth prayer. Him, his hands shaping a ritual loaf in a rhythmic motions invoking blessings for peace and rest. His assistants, their tunics tied with simple cords, echo his chant softly, their eyes fixed on the loaf's rise, its surface marked with a sacred spiral for protection. Historical records confirm that Roman bathhouses, deeply ritualistic in some communities from the 1st century CE, often included sacred ceremonies at snack stalls to imbue morsels with spiritual favor, believed to ensure tranquility. For those plagued by sleeplessness, a practice rooted in pagan traditions. You feel the weight of this ritual, each slice a spark, its essence tying the bathhouse to the divine far beyond the Viking woven rituals or Egyptian starry rites. You smirk as a young assistant, his hands eager, asks if the spiral truly calms the gods, earning a warm nod and a slower chant from the vendor, who weaves his question into the prayer's cadence. "Keep it holy, fig fumbler," you mutter, chuckling at his wide-eyed nod. The quirky truth is that some vendors use crumb chants, melodic patterns thought to align their snacks with spiritual harmony, believed to strengthen a morsel's calming power, with one tale claiming a piece. Crumb loaf blessed a bathhouse during a volcanic tremor's unrest. You picture a date humming "rest now" and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the vendor's reverence. His ritual a sacred dialogue with Vesta, each note a spark of devotion, not unlike the Malian griot's spiritual songs, though here it's bread not kora, strings that holds the divine. The vendor's chant shifts now, arranging a sky prayer tray of olives and cheese, its melody echoing the calm chants you heard, before recounting a celestial spirit's journey to rest the assistant's breathing. Slowing as they hum softly in response, you lean closer, the olive oil's sharp aroma curling around you, and imagine the bathhouse, its tiles alive with spiritual presence, each morsel a gift from the divine that shaped Roman faith. The act is both craft and communion, deepening the spiritual life of the vendors, their divine role, a tether to the eternal, honoring the quiet forces that sustain the hearth. Historians still argue whether Roman snack rituals were primarily devotional, linking vendors to spiritual calm, or ceremonial, invoking rest for communal unity. You're leaning toward devotional, sensing the vendor's faith, his hymn akin to the Inca's sacred quinoa rituals, though here it's the snack, not crops, that weaves the sacred. You steady yourself as an assistant offers a pinch of flour to the statue, its glow casting embers across the mat, the vendor's ritual shifting to a hearth rest tray, its rhythm familiar from the nightly calm chants soothing even you. You laugh softly, picturing your own bedtime with a mindfulness chant. Yeah, you'd get droning app blues and stay up. The Roman craft is different. Its snack tray is a spiritual symphony, turning the bathhouse into a haven of devotion, far beyond the Byzantine folders' petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven rites which seem distant against this sacred art. The bathhouse's hush surrounds you, a distant splash, blending with the chant, the steam's warmth, a faint echo, but the vendor's ritual feels like a sanctuary, its rhythm a shield against the night. You glance at the assistants, their faces soften the celestial rest, hymn ending with a gentle crumb, chant the young one, now humming softly, learning the art of reverence. You feel the weight of the divine presence, the flowers offering a spark of faith. The vendors chant a vow to honor the night's calm. The assistants' hands steady their chords, swaying the vendor's voice, a gift that outshines the night's chill, binding this sacred space. You laugh again, picturing your local baker stirring divine snacks. Sorry, mate, you'd be stuck with pastry, jingle blues, and a flop. The bathhouse's rhythm holds you a promise of peace in the fleeting its sacred morsels, akin to the Polynesian starlit gardens, both crafting stories for the heart-defying time's erosion. The mat feels like a hearth, its warmth a shield against the steam, and you're ready to hear elders teach these sacred arts. You linger by the alcove, the vendor's whisper steady as it hums, the verses fading into a gentle hum like the steam's own breath. The nightly morsels in divine trays wait in memory, but the sacred chants carry you a crafts that feeds heart and soul, its divine essence the spark you'll soon see in elders' teachings. You feel the weight of its sacred intent, the bathhouse a haven in the dusk, and you're ready to explore the wisdom passed down. The stars gleam outside their light, a gentle pull, and you drift closer to sleep, the scent of olive oil and the snack's rhythm a lullaby in Pompeii's endless night. You've left the bathhouse's steamy alcove behind, its crumb chants now a warm memory, and find yourself stepping onto a torchlit street in Pompeii around 70 CE, where the night air hums with the scent of olive oil and the distant clatter of ox-drawn carts under a starry sky. The cobblestones gleam with evening dew, and you're drawn to a small courtyard beside a snack vendor's workshop, where a circle of young assistants gathers around an elder vendor, his tunic dusted with flour, teaching the art of preparing sacred snacks to soothe the sleepless souls of bathhouse patrons. You're here to hear these elders pass down their wisdom, their voices weaving the heart of Roman serenity to ensure these calming recipes endure for generations of vendors. The soft crackle of a brazier and the elders' rhythmic chant blend into a gentle hum, and you're ready to feel the sacred teaching. You settle on a stone bench near a worn wooden table, your bare feet brushing the cool cobbles, the torchlight streaming across the elder, a man with a voice like a smoldering olive grove as he demonstrates a hearth tray, his hands arranging olives and bread in a steady rhythm, chanting a tale of snacks gift to weary bathers in a low resonant tone. His movements trace a sacred cadence, a map to both morsel and spirit, guiding the assistants who mimic him, their voices trembling but eager, learning to craft snacks that soothe tired merchants. Historical records note that Roman elders central to trade transmission across the empire from the 1st century CE taught snack preparation through hands-on training, preserving sacred recipes and techniques vital for spiritual calm and bathhouse ritual. You feel the weight of this teaching, each slice a spark, its essence binding the courtyard to the city's heartbeat, far beyond the Viking woven lessons or Egyptian desert rites. You smirk as a young assistant, a curious echo of the fig-fumbling youth, tries to mimic the sky tray, but spills olives, scattering them across the table, earning a gentle correction and a chuckle from the elder. "Keep it steady, olive tosser," you mutter, chuckling at his sheepish nod. The quirky truth is that elders use bite seals, mnemonic phrases like slice slow, peace, grow to teach complex snack recipes, with one story claiming a serenity seal helped an assistant perfect a tray's arrangement during an elder's test. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of chanted snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's patience, his lesson a sacred art, each hum a spark of devotion, not unlike the Inca elders' quinoa chant teachings, though here it's snacks, not crops, that endure. The elder shifts to a market tray, his voice steady, teaching the assistants to sync their slicing with their breath, while a girl mimics his gestures, her hands wobbly but bold. And you lean closer, the olive oil's sharp scent curling around you, and feel the tenderness of this moment, the snacking, not just skill, but a bridge to calm, binding assistance to their ancestors, their faith, their city. The act is both teaching and ritual, the elders' wisdom ensuring the morsels soothe every restless soul, their recipes a shield against time's erosion. Historians still argue whether Roman snack training was formal, a structured guild system, or communal absorbed through daily practice. You're leaning toward formal, sensing the courtyard's discipline, the learning a deliberate dance of faith and craft like the Malian griot's oral teachings, though here it's the tray, not songs that carries the art. You accept a sip of diluted wine from a clay cup, its tart warmth grounding you, and try humming a small hearth tray. Verse with your breath stumbling on the rhythm, earning a kind nod from the girl who taps the beat. You laugh softly, imagining teaching your friends to snack like this. Yeah, you'd get burnt bread, blues, and a disaster. The Roman craft is different. Its bathhouses, a living archive far beyond the Byzantine folders, petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven blends which seem distant against this snacky legacy. The courtyard's peace surrounds you, a night owl's hoot, blending with the chants the bathhouses hum, a gentle backdrop, but the elders' voices feel like a sanctuary, their lessons a rising chorus in the torchlight. You glance at the assistants, their trays, hearth sky market arranged with the elders' guidance, their snacks now steadier, some tracing calm chants in the flour to mark sacred recipes, each slice a step toward mastery. The elder pauses, offering a sky seal verse to a boy, his voice clear as he names the tray's items, his echo proud but shy. You yawn, the braziers crackle, and the assistant's chants blending with the courtyard's quiet, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that serenity seal tale it sparked guiding an elder's praise, and realize this teaching isn't just skill. It's memory, each morsel a spark like the Polynesian navigator's star path, versus both weaving stories into the future. You notice the young girl, her slicing steadier, now leading a market tray verse, with care, her hands tracing its rhythm, the elders nod a silent blessing. The courtyard's warmth binds them, each recipe a shared lesson, their voices a legacy that carries the Roman soul. You laugh again, picturing your local kids learning Roman, snacking sorry little munchers. You'd hit sticky fig blues and flop. The bathhouse's nightly rhythms and sacred rituals feel close, but the elders' snack lessons are the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger in the courtyard, the elders chant a quiet hum, and you're ready to hear women's snack tales, their soothing stories waiting in the city's torchlit hush. You've left the courtyard's rhythmic bite seals behind their guiding chants, now a warm memory, and find yourself slipping into a quiet women's gathering, tucked in a narrow Pompeii alley around 70 CE where the moonlight filters through a veil of evening mist, casting silvery shadows on the cobblestone ground. The air hums with the scent of olive oil and the faint rustle of flour-dusted cloaks, but you're drawn to a group of women huddled around a small brazier, one of them a matron with a steady hand, humming a snack tale to a weary bathhouse attendant, resting on a woven mat, her eyes half closed under the matron's gentle gaze. You're here to watch these women weave their soothing tales, their tender myths of divine morsels and ancestral wisdom, crafted to guide both bather and soul in a city pulsing with restless nights. The crackle of the brazier and the women's melodic hum blend into a gentle cadence, and you're ready to feel their nurturing embrace. You settle on a wooden crate near the mat, your bare feet brushing the cool cobbles, the moonlight softening the gathering's glow as you watch the matron's hands move with grace. Her hearth rest tale, weaving a prayer for calm. Her chant, a soothing murmur for the attendant, whose breath slows, lulling a young girl who watches with sleepy eyes. Historical records note that Roman women, though often less documented in public roles, played a vital role in snack storytelling from the 1st century CE, often in private settings like alley gatherings, crafting myths for family comfort and communal rest, particularly in urban communities like Pompeii. These stories, you learn, are the city's quiet heartbeat, their melodies a nightly ritual that binds mother, child, and worker under the Roman sky far beyond the Viking woven lullabies or Egyptian desert verses. You smirk as the girl, her cloak slipping, interrupts to ask if the figs truly hear our prayers, earning a warm chuckle and a slower hum from the matron, who weaves the question into her tale's rhythm. "Keep it tasty, little nibbler," you mutter, chuckling at her curious nod. The quirky truth is that women sometimes use crumb pulses, delicate melodic patterns shared only among women believed to carry a mother's calming intent, with one tale claiming a mercy pulse soothed a bathhouse's patrons during a festival's unrest. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of secret snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the matrons love her story, a tender slice, each note a spark of care, not unlike the Inca mother's quinoa lullabies, though here it's morsels, not crops that soothe. The matron's chant shifts, now humming a sky rest tale, her voice recounting a celestial tray guiding a sleepless merchant to wrest a lesson in faith that stills the girl's fidgeting, her cloak crumpling as her eyes close. You lean closer, the olive oil's sharp scent curling around you, and sense the intimacy of this moment. The soothing, not just art, but a bond teaching the girl to honor the divine in a world where hope meant strength. The act is both nurturing and vital. The women's stories a shield against the city's turmoil. Their melodies a gift that carries sacred values, peace, endurance into the next generation. Historians still argue whether women's snack storytelling was primarily domestic fostering family comfort or sacred guiding spiritual rituals in private spaces. You're leaning towards sacred filling. The matrons reverence her tale, akin to the Mali and Griot's women's hymns, both crafted with love to comfort the heart. You wander to another corner of the gathering where a second woman hums a market path tale, her hands weaving a myth of a snack's calm, her infant swaying in a flour-dusted sling, the calm pulse pattern echoing the elders' teachings and bathhouse rituals. You laugh softly, imagining your own bedtime routine with a journaling app. Yeah, you'd get glitchy scrawl blues in a crash. The Roman craft is different. It's women's storytelling, a symphony of care, turning the alley into a haven of rest, far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven chants which seem distant against this tender art. The gathering stillness surrounds you, a distant cart's clatter blending with the matron's chant, the city's glow a faint echo, but the stories feel like a sanctuary, their rhythms a shield against the night. You glance at the first matron, her girl now asleep, her mat tucked beside her, the matron's voice a whisper as she begins a new rest chant, the spirit and snack tale a memory that lulls her to dreams. The second woman's infant slumbers, her market verse complete, her hands still tracing gentle hums syncing with the alley's hush. You yawn, the moonlight's chill, and the women's murmurs blending with the gathering's quiet, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that mercy pulse tale it sparks soothing a bathhouse and realize these stories aren't just myths, they're anchors, each note a spark of love like the Polynesian navigator's starlit verses both weaving peace into the night's toil. You notice an older woman passing by her basket heavy with olives humming a hearth rest verse to a sleepy toddler, the same rhythm as the matrons as if the gathering shares a single lullaby. The bathhouse's sacred rituals and elder teachings feel close, but the women's snack tales are the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You laugh again, picturing your local daycare spinning epic Roman tales. Sorry folks, you'd be stuck with nap time, hum blues, and a flop. The women's art is a marvel, it's soothing, a gentle guide, their rhythms a testament to Roman spirit, defying the city's sleepless nights, where the Byzantine folder's complaints would fade. You linger in the alley, the matron's voice steady as she hums the moon high. The city now a hush of tales, the courtyard's lessons a faint echo, but the snack stories carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul. It's tender calm, the spark you'll soon see in ceremonial rites. You feel the weight of its soothing intent, the alley a haven in the mist, and you're ready to join sacred ceremonies. The city stretches wide, the stars faint, and you drift closer to sleep. The scent of olive oil and the snack's rhythm a lullaby in Pompeii's endless night. You've left the alley's tender crumb pulses behind their soothing tales, now a warm memory, and find yourself stepping onto a torchlit ceremonial platform in a small Pompeii courtyard around 70 CE, where the evening air pulses with the scent of burning olive oil and the rhythmic chant of vendors gathered around a stone table, its edges carved with simple spiral motifs that gleam under flickering flames. The cobblestone ground is swept clean, and you're drawn to a circle of elders and vendors around a low altar adorned with fresh snack trays where a revered elder performs a snack ritual, her voice chanting a myth to honor divine serenity, the table's shadow, a silent guardian. You're here to join these ceremonial rites where sacred snack myths are crafted to embed mystic calm into the Roman spiritual fabric, soothing the sleepless souls of bathhouse patrons. The chant of voices and the distant hum of a lyre blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this sacred act. You settle on a woven mat at the platform's edge, your bare feet sinking into the cool cobbles, the torchlight illuminating the elder, a woman with a voice like a rolling mist as she chants a hearth rest. Hymn, her hands arranging a ritual tray of honeyed figs and bread in a resonant melody invoking blessings for restful nights. Historical records note that ceremonial snack rites central to some Roman spiritual practices in the 1st century CE were held in communal spaces to honor divine forces like Vesta, with vendors blending myth-induced chants with offerings to invoke harmony, uniting communities in shared devotion across urban centers like Pompeii. You feel the weight of this rite, each morsel a spark, its essence tying the platform to the eternal far beyond the Viking woven ceremonies or Egyptian starry rituals. You smirk as a young vendor, a fervent echo of the olive-tossing assistant, tries to mimic the sky rest hymn during the chant, but misplaces a crumb pulse, earning a stern glance, but a forgiving nod from the elder. "Keep it sacred, myth mangler," you mutter, chuckling at her quick recovery. The quirky truth is that some ceremonial trays use bite counts, precise melodic patterns tied to sacred numbers, like 3 believed to channel spiritual balance, with one tale claiming a mercy count tray calmed a crowd during a bathhouse brawl's tension. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga wincing at a scroll full of numbered snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elders focus her ritual, a divine plea, each hum a spark of reverence, not unlike the Mali and Griot's sacred rites, though here it's snacks, not kora, songs that commune with the divine. The elder's voice rises, chanting a myth of a celestial tray weaving cosmic rest, her hands tracing the rhythm of a divine recipe, the vendors' voices joining in a dance of shared reverence, their harmony a vow to honor the city's faith. You lean closer, the olive oil smoky scent curling around you, and imagine the platform, its cobbles alive with spiritual presence, honored by the table's gaze, its snacks a divine gift. The act is both ritual and communion, the snack hymn's divine role, a bridge to the eternal, ensuring the faithful's connection to sacred serenity. Historians still argue whether ceremonial snack rites were primarily spiritual, invoking divine favor, or communal, strengthening bonds through ritual calm. You're leaning towards spiritual, sensing the elder's faith, her hymn akin to the Inca's sacred quinoa rituals, both crafted to honor the divine, though here it's the tray, not grains, that weaves the sacred. You steady yourself as a vendor lights a small brazier, its embers casting shadows on the cobbles, the elder's ritual shifting to a market path hymn, its rhythm familiar from the women's alley gathering and bathhouse chants soothing even you. You laugh softly, picturing your own spiritual rituals with a podcast prayer. Yeah, you'd get droning chant blues and zone out. The Roman craft is different, its ceremonial snacks a spiritual symphony, turning the platform into a haven of devotion far beyond the Byzantine folders, petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven rites which seem distant against this mystic art. The ceremony's reverence surrounds you, a distant cart's clatter blending with the chant, the city's vastness a faint echo, but the elder's soothing feels like a sanctuary, its rhythm a shield against the evening's chill. You glance at the vendors, their movements precise, the cosmic rest prayer, ending with a solemn offering of a small loaf to the altar, the young vendors chanting, now steady, learning the art of worship. You yawn, the brazier's curls and the elder's murmurs blending with the chant's dying beat, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that mercy count tale, its spark uniting a crowd, and realize these rituals aren't just ceremonies, they're lifelines, each snack a spark of divine connection, like the Polynesian navigator's starlit rites, both weaving harmony into the chaos. The platform's glow holds you, the vendor's fire steady, the elder's ritual a vow to honor the spirit's calm. You notice a young woman, her cloak adorned with a simple spiral, joining the chant, her lips moving with the market path verse, her eyes half closed, finding peace in the ritual's embrace. The revered elder's voice never falters her melody, a gift that outshines the evening's shadows, binding this sacred space. You laugh again, picturing your local choir slicing divine snacks, Sorry folks, you'd be stuck with off-key pulse blues and a flop. The bathhouse's sacred rituals and women's tales feel close, but the ceremonial snacks are the city's heartbeat, and nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger by the platform, the elders chant a quiet hum, and you're ready to see traders share these snack recipes, their exchanges waiting in the city's bustling markets. You've left the ceremonial platform's torchlit trays behind their bite counts, now a tender hum, and find yourself weaving through a crowded market square in Pompeii around 70 CE, where the morning air pulses with the scent of olive oil and the chatter of vendors under a hazy sky. The stalls brim with bread and figs, but you're drawn to a shaded awning, where vendors barter sacred snack recipes, tales of hearth rest and market path trays. Each myth a soothing whisper to calm a weary scribe leaning against a stack of crusty loaves. You're here to see these vendors share their spiritual myths, their intricate recipes traded as currency binding Roman communities across the city's bustling markets to ease the sleepless nights of bathhouse patrons. The clatter of coins and the traders' melodic chants blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel the shared calm. You settle on a woven mat by the awning, your bare feet brushing the gritty cobbles, the sunlight filtering through canvas as you watch a vendor, a weathered woman with a flower-streaked cloak, offer a sky rest tray, recipe for a sack of barley, her voice chanting a tale of a divine snacks, peace shared with the scribe who nods in awe. Her words rise and fall, each phrase a note of rest, the scribe echoing the recipe's crumb pulse to learn it by heart. Historical records note that Roman markets thriving across the empire from the 1st century CE were cultural hubs where vendors exchanged sacred snack recipes alongside goods, sharing spiritual stories to strengthen communal bonds and guide ritual offerings, linking urban neighborhoods through shared narratives. These swaps, you learn, are more than commerce. They're a communal lullaby weaving myths across market routes to quiet the night's fears far beyond the Viking woven trades or Egyptian desert exchanges. You smirk as a young vendor, a chatty echo of the myth-mangling assistant, tries to barter a sea rest tray, but misnames a crumb chant, mixing the sky's calm with a hearth's tale, earning a playful jeer and a tossed olive from her buyer. Keep it tasty, recipe haggler, you mutter, chuckling at her sheepish grin. The quirky truth is that some vendors use bite tokens, small clay markers etched with symbols like a spiral or loaf, to mark a recipe's worth, ensuring its memory during long market days, with one story claiming a mercy token resolved a trade dispute during a market's chaos. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of token snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the vendor's intent, her myth a shared gift, each slice a spark of connection, not unlike the Malian traders' song exchanges, though here it's snacks, not Korah myths, that bind. The vendor's hymn ends the scribe's eyes drooping his barley traded, and she begins another, this one about a celestial spirit guiding a sleepless courier to peace, its calm pulse echoing the women's alley gathering in ceremonial rites. You lean closer, the scent of olive oil and warm bread mingling, and accept a piece of crusty bread from a vendor, its chewy tang grounding you as you hum the sky rest, verse stumbling but earning a nod. You laugh softly, imagining bartering your playlist for groceries. Yeah, you'd get stale track blues and a blank stare. The Roman craft is different. Its snacks swaps a cultural currency far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' knot tokens which seem trivial against this communal art. The market's hush surrounds you, a child's giggle blending with the tales the platform's glow a faint backdrop, but the vendors' voices feel like a sanctuary, their rhythms a shield against the day. You wander to another awning where a man trades a hearth rest tray recipe for a jug of wine, his voice clear as he recounts a divine snack, blessing a weary poet, the buyer echoing with care their exchange a vow to share the city's calm. The act is both commerce and kinship, the spiritual myths a language that carries peace across cobblestone stalls, easing the fears of vendors far from home. Historians still argue whether market snack swaps were primarily economic strengthening trade networks or social fostering unity through shared narratives. You're leaning towards social sensing, the vendors bond, their voices a shared lullaby like the Inca traders' quinoa chant, exchanges both weaving ties through their craft. You sit by the awning, the bread's flavor lingering the vendor's chants, stars, snacks, spirits rising with the market breeze, each one a myth carried from the alley's heart to distant stalls shared across the Roman soul. The young vendor, now bolder, offers a market path tale, her words clear, earning a bite token from her buyer. You yawn, the market's bustle and the vendor's murmurs blending with the square's quiet, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that mercy token tale at spark calming a market's tension, and realize these swaps aren't just trade, they're connection. Each story a spark like the Polynesian navigators exchanged chants, both weaving tales across distances. You notice a woman vendor, her basket heavy with olives, reciting a skyrest verse to a tired mason, her voice soft, the tale a gift that earns a nod of thanks. The market's warmth binds them, the snack myths a currency that outshines the day's fears, linking communities with shared dreams. You laugh again, picturing your local market, swapping poems for goods. Sorry folks, you'd flop with barter blues. The alley's tales and ceremonial rites feel close, but the vendors' traded recipes are the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger by the awning, the vendor's voice a quiet hum, and you're ready to hear elders preserve these oral archives, their wisdom waiting in the city's sacred hush. You've left the market square's olive-scented bustle behind its bite tokens, now a tender hum, and find yourself slipping into a quiet storeroom, tucked within a Pompeii bathhouse around 70 CE, where the evening air carries the faint scent of yeast and the distant hum of torchlit chatter echoing through the tiled halls. The stone walls are lined with amphorae of olive oil, their shadows dancing under lamplight, but your attention is drawn to an elder woman, her voice reciting a snack myth, each word preserving a sacred tale of hearth, rest, and market path, trays for generations, yet to calm the sleepless souls of bathhouse patrons. You're here to hear these elders weave oral archives, their chanted melodies safeguarding the Roman city's mythic recipes for vendors seeking their divine calm. The rustle of cloaks and the elders' murmured chant blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to witness this delicate craft. You settle on a woven mat near a low stone bench, your bare feet brushing the cool tiles, the lamplight casting shadows on the elder's flower-dusted cloak as she recites a sky-rest hymn in a resonant chant, her voice weaving a tale of a celestial tray's journey through a starlit night. Each word is a seed planting a recipe in memory, her chant a sacred record for a young vendor who echoes her, their voices a chorus of devotion. Historical records note that Roman elders, vital to cultural preservation across the empire from the 1st century CE, relied on oral traditions to archive snack myths, memorizing sacred spiritual stories to ensure their survival, alongside fragile market goods. These oral archives, you learn, are more than records. They're vessels of calm, carrying whispers of divine serenity to quiet the restless nights of future vendors far beyond the Viking woven archives or Egyptian starry scrolls. You smirk as the young vendor, a cautious echo of the recipe-haggling youth, stumbles over a sea-path hymn, mixing the hearth's rise with the sky's tale, earning a gentle tisk and a quick correction from the elder. Keep it true, chant slicer, you mutter, chuckling at her flushed cheeks. The quirky truth is that some elders use snack seal's short rhythmic phrases like crumbs, hold peace molds to aid recall of complex tales with one story claiming a serenity. Snack preserved a recipe during a bathhouse flood's chaos. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of chanted snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's focus, her voice etching a tale of rest, each word a whisper of eternity, not unlike the Malian griot's oral manuscripts, though here it's memory, not parchment, that preserves. The elder continues her chant, tracing a tray's divine path, the hymn's verses a map of dreams that resonates in the storeroom's lamplit glow, its rhythm soothing even you. You lean closer, the yeast's musky scent mingling with lamp oil, and imagine vendors hearing these chants by torchlight, their voices reciting the spiritual myths to craft sacred trays. The act is both meticulous and sacred, the oral melodies not just records but a bridge to the divine preserving sliced light for nights when chaos loomed. Historians still argue whether elders' oral archives were primarily practical storing myths for accuracy or spiritual meant to be chanted for cosmic calm. You're leaning towards spiritual sensing, the elder's murmured reverence, her chant a prayer for the Roman spirit, like the Inca's knotted quipu tales, though here it's voices, not chords, that hold the story. You steady yourself against an amphora, the young vendor practicing a new hymn, her hands quick as she mimics the elder's gestures. This one about a spirit slicing mercy through a crumb, pulse, its calm pulse echoing the trader's swaps and ceremonial rites. You laugh softly, picturing your own bedtime with a digital journal. Yeah, you'd get cloud sync blues and stay up. The Roman craft is different, its oral archives a timeless vessel, slicing spiritual myths into lasting whispers far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Polynesians' shell-marked tales which seem trivial against this vocal art. The storeroom's quiet surrounds you, a distant bathhouse splash blending with the chant, the market's hum, a faint echo, but the elder's work feels like a sanctuary, her chants a chorus of rest. You glance at the elder, her sky hymn, complete its verses, a memory ready for a vendor's ritual, slicing the amphorae glowing under lamplight, guiding the chanter's pace. She begins another, her voice reciting a hearthrest tale, its snack chant steady, the young vendor's echo tentative but growing. You yawn, the lamp's glow, and the elder's murmurs blending with the storeroom stillness, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that Serenity snack tale, its rhythm saving a recipe's legacy, and realize these archives aren't just records. They're lifelines, each verse a spark of peace, like the Polynesian navigator's memorized chants, both anchoring the night's chaos. You notice the young vendor, her voice steadier, now chanting a market rest verse with care, her eyes focused, learning to preserve the art of calm. The elder's melody slows her pause, deliberate, the hymn story a gift for sleepless souls. You laugh again, picturing your local librarian reciting sacred snack myths. Sorry, pal, you'd be stuck with dusty verse blues in a mess. The city's sacred rituals and market trades feel close, but the elders' oral archives are the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger in the storeroom, the elders chant a quiet hum, and you're ready to explore the masters woven into these celestial tales, their myths waiting in the city's sacred glow. You're still nestled in the quiet storeroom, within the Pompeii bathhouse around 70 CE, where the evening air carries the musky scent of yeast and the faint flicker of lamps, casting shadows on amphorae lining the stone walls. The elder woman's hearth rest hymn lingers, its oral archive a tender memory. But now you sit closer to a low bench drawn to a revered sage reciting a snack myth rich with the presence of baking masters, their legendary roles shaping the sacred recipes of the city's vendors. You're here to learn how these masters are woven into the myths, their spiritual roles in tales like Skyrest and Market Path, guiding the sleepless with divine wisdom across the steamy halls of Roman bathhouses. The rustle of cloaks and the sage's melodic chant blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this noble reverence. You lean against an amphora, your bare feet brushing the cool tiles, the lamplight catching the sage's weathered hands as she chants a sea path hymn in a resonant voice, her words tracing the journey of Master Livia, who blessed a sacred tray to calm a restless bathhouse, her legacy soothing the city's insomniacs. Her words weave a tapestry of divine authority, the young vendor echoing softly their voices, a vow to honor the master's eternal legacy. Historical records note that Roman baking masters central to culinary practices across the empire from the 1st century CE were pivotal in snack rituals, commissioning sacred myths to strengthen communal bonds and honor divine calm, their roles ensuring the craft's cultural survival. These master myths, you learn, are more than tales, they're sacred anchors. Their sliced light a nightly prayer that ties the storeroom to its leaders, easing fears of chaos or spiritual drift, far beyond the Viking chief myths or Egyptian ruler tales. You smirk as the young vendor, that chant-slicing recipe haggler, tries to recite the hymn, but swaps Livia for a lesser master, earning a weary sigh and a gentle correction from the sage. Keep it, noble myth mixer, you mutter, chuckling at her flushed nod. The quirky truth is that some snack myths included crumb pulses, specific melodic patterns believed to carry a master's divine favor, with one tale claiming a rest pulse for Master Gaius, calmed a market during a grain shortage's unrest. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga wincing at a scroll full of noble snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the sage's reverence, her chant a divine slice, each word a spark of connection to the Roman heart, not unlike the Malian griot's royal epics, though here its masters not chorus songs that guide. The sage's chant shifts now, weaving a sky rest tale of Master Claudia, who gifted a sacred tray to a struggling neighborhood, its melody echoing the trader's swaps and ceremonial rites, the young vendor's eyes wide with awe. You lean closer, the lamp oil's acrid scent grounding you, and sense the power of these master myths, their narratives not just honoring, but binding, teaching loyalty to the city's divine leaders, while easing fears of scarcity or spiritual loss. The act is both spiritual and unifying the master's presence in the myths, a shield against Pompeii's unknowns, their stories a gift that carries noble pride into dreams. Historians still argue whether master-driven snack myths were primarily political reinforcing leadership or spiritual invoking divine favor through patronage. You're leaning towards spiritual filling, the sage's devotion, her chant akin to the Inca's divine quinoa myths, both crafted to honor higher powers, though here it's snacks, not grains that soothe. You wander to a nearby alcove where another elder recites a similar tale, this one of a master commissioning a hearth tray for a festival, her voice soft, the calm pulse rhythm, syncing with the women's alley gathering and market tales. You laugh softly, imagining your own bedtime with a royal podcast. Yeah, you'd get droning crown blues and stay up. The Roman craft is different, it's master myths, a spiritual symphony turning chanted snacks into havens of rest, far beyond the Byzantine folders' petty disputes over dates or the Vikings' woven chants which seem trivial against this mythic art. The storeroom stillness surrounds you, a distant lyre's hum blending with the chant, the market's buzz, a faint echo, but the sage's song feels like a sanctuary, its rhythm a shield against the night. You glance at the revered sage, her Livia tale complete its verses, a memory that lulls vendors to dreams, now chanting a crumb pulse hymn, her voice a whisper as she begins a new myth of Claudia's gift. The other elder's tale ends her audience of one a tired courier, nodding the hymn, a spark of noble calm. You yawn, the lamp's flicker, and the elder's murmurs blending with the tile's cool touch, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that rest pulse, its spark guiding a market's peace, and realize these myths aren't just stories. They're divine anchors, each verse a spark of peace like the Polynesian navigator's starlit myths, both weaving calm into the city's trials. You notice a visitor, her cloak loose humming, the sky rest chant, her eyes half closed finding rest in the storeroom's embrace. The sage's voice never falters her melody, a gift that outshines the night's chill binding this quiet space. You laugh again picturing your local historian spinning master tales, Prof, you'd be stuck with archive yawn, blues, and a flop. The city's sacred rituals and market trades feel close, but the master's snack myths are the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger in the storeroom, the sage's voice a quiet hum, and you're ready to join the festivals of these sacred snack chants, their celebrations waiting in the city's vibrant glow. You've slipped away from the storeroom's lamplit murmurs, their master myths now a tender echo, and find yourself swept into a bustling festival square in Pompeii around 70 CE, where the midday sun bathes the cobblestone ground in golden light, the air pulsing with the rhythm of Roman lyres, and the laughter of vendors scented with olive oil and roasted almonds. The horizon hums with market stalls, but the crowd gathers around a central platform, where elders, women, and vendors celebrate sacred snack chants reciting myths of hearth rest and market path in feasts that honor divine calm. You're here to join this festival of snack myths where spiritual recipes become sacred offerings, shared in joy to weave the Roman city spirit into every tray and hymn, soothing the sleepless souls of bathhouse patrons. The hum of voices and the melody of chanted myths blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to revel in this crumbly celebration. You weave through the crowd, your bare feet scuffing the warm cobbles, the sunlight warming your face as you approach a circle where a matron, her voice like a smoldering brazier, leads a sky rest hymn, recounting a tray's journey to divine peace in a flowing chant, her words offered to Vesta and the revered elder. Vendors join in their voices, rising sharing the myth as a prayer for harmony, their melody echoing the women's alley gathering in ceremonial rites. Historical records note that Roman festivals thriving across the empire in the 1st century CE often centered on culinary worship, with communities celebrating sacred spiritual myths, during communal feasts to strengthen spiritual and social bonds. You feel the festival's heartbeat, each tale a spark, its melody binding the crowd in shared reverence far beyond the Viking-woven feasts or Egyptian starry gatherings. You smirk as a young boy, a lively echo of the myth-mixing vendor tries to lead a sea rest hymn, but skips a crumb pulse, earning playful cheers from his peers and a warm nod from the matron. Keep it flowing, verse slicer, you mutter, chuckling at his proud grin. The quirky truth is that some festival myths were paired with bite steps, gentle movements mimicking a tray's arrangement to enhance their spiritual resonance, with one tale claiming a mercy step calmed a crowd during a festival brawl's tension. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of dancing snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you see the matron's pride, her chant a sacred offering, its rhythm a spark in the festival's joy, not unlike the Mali and Griot's festival songs, both uniting through art. The matron passes the myth to a group of women, their voices weaving a hearthrest tale about Master Livia's tray, blessing a sleepless bathhouse, the crowd clapping in rhythm as vendors sway like spiral motifs, offering the story to the divine. You lean closer, the olive oil's warm aroma curling around you, and accept a piece of honeyed bread from a vendor, its sticky tang tempting your fingers. You try chanting the Sky Rest hymn, stumbling on the rhythm, and a girl teaches you the beat with a clap. You laugh softly, imagining your family dancing to a bedtime playlist. Yeah, you trip into offbeat blues and chaos. The Roman festival is different. Its snack chants a sacred art far beyond the Byzantine folders, petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' knot chants which seem trivial against this communal celebration. You wander to a sunlit circle where an elder leads a market rest. Him, his voice strong, the myth, a prayer for unity shared among vendors who move like cross motifs, their steps echoing the verse's path. The act feels holy, the tales not just myths, but offerings, each verse a vow for harmony, devotion, or spiritual favor, tying the crowd to their sacred roots. Historians still argue whether festival snack chants were primarily ceremonial, honoring the divine, or communal, reinforcing social bonds through shared calm. You're leaning toward communal, sensing the crowd's warmth, their voices, a constellation of shared spirit, like the Inca festival quinoa chants, though here it's the snack, not grains, that carries the song. You sit by the platform, the bread's taste grounding you, its warmth sinking into you as you hum the hearth, rest versus the master myths, alive in the festival's glow. You yawn, the lyre's pulse and the murmured tales blending with the crowd's lively buzz, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that mercy step, its blessing, a festival spark, and realize this feast isn't just celebration, it's connection. Each tale a story like the Persian priest's poetic rites, both weaving memory into the moment. The crowd's harmony binds them, each verse a spark, their festival, a tapestry of shared light. You glance at the platform, the sun dipping low, the tale's melodies, spirits, snacks, peace now fragments, yet their music lives in the crowd's voices, chanted, cherished, alive. The young boy, now bolder, leads a sea rest chant, his voice clear, earning nods from the elders. You laugh again, picturing your local party with mythical snack karaoke. Sorry folks, you'd bomb with off-key blues. The market's trades and storerooms archives feel close, but the festival snack myths are the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger by the platform, the matron's voice a quiet hum, and you're ready to hear women's voices rise in these sacred snack tales, their myths waiting in the festival's vibrant glow. You're still immersed in the bustling festival square in Pompeii, around 70 CE, where the midday sun bathes the cobblestone ground in warmth, the air alive with the rhythm of Roman lyres and the rich scent of olive oil, the festival's energy pulsing with chants of sky rest and market path myths. The platform glows with elders and vendors, and the distant hum of a nearby market blends with the melodic echo of hearth rest tales from the feast. You're here to hear women's voices rise in these sacred snack chants, their roles as keepers of divine wisdom, weaving narratives of celestial trays and cosmic serenity into the heart of the Roman soul, guiding the sleepless with spiritual calm. The clap of hands and the women's harmonious chants blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel their powerful grace. You settle on a woven blanket near the central platform, your bare feet tucked beneath you, the sun's warmth grounding you as you watch a matron. Her hands steady, her eyes bright with devotion, lead a wave rest hymn, her voice chanting a myth of a snack's divine peace in a flowing rhythm. She weaves the myth's journey, her melody a map to tranquility, guiding a group of young women who echo her gestures with care, their voices blending like the festival's breeze. Historical records note that Roman women vital to cultural continuity across the empire from the 1st century CE were key custodians of snack chanting practices, often leading private chants in gatherings or communal spaces, though their roles were less documented than elders. You feel the strength of her myth, each chant a testament to her voice, its music a slice in the festival's heart, far beyond the Viking woven songs or Egyptian desert verses. You smirk as a teenage girl, a spirited echo of the verse. Slicing boy joins the chant, but swaps cosmic peace for Trey's hum, earning a playful tisk and giggles from her peers. Mind the spirit's pulse drifter, you mutter, chuckling at her cheeky grin. The quirky truth is that women sometimes wove grace pulses into their snack chants, subtle melodic patterns shared only among women, believed to carry a sacred feminine calm, with one tale claiming a mercy pulse soothed a bathhouse's patrons during a volcanic tremor's fear. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of secret snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you see the matron's focus, her chant a powerful weave of myth and care, her voice a beacon in the festival's glow, not unlike the Molly and Griot's women's hymns crafted with love. The matron's voice shifts now, chanting a hearthrest tale of a tray, blessing a sleepless scribe's slumber, her hands gesturing the myth's flow, her apprentices harmonizing their voices, blending like the festival's lyres, etching the melody into the crowd's memory. You lean closer, the almond's lingering flavor brushing your senses, and feel the intimacy of their craft, the soothing not just art, but a legacy, their voices guiding restless souls to thrive and binding the festival's spirit. The act is both art and duty, the women's myth shaping divine wisdom, ensuring every chant finds favor with Vesta. Historians still argue whether women's roles in snack chanting were equal to elders leading narratives, with authority or supportive preserving tales in sacred spaces. You're leaning toward equal sensing, the matrons command her verses as vital as any elders, like the Inca women's quinoa chant roles, though here it's snacks, not grains, that carry the power. You accept a sip of diluted wine from a clay cup, its tart tang grounding you, and try humming the wave rest. Him, stumbling on the rhythm, earning a kind nod from the girl who claps the beat. You laugh softly, imagining your sister chanting snack myths. Yeah, she'd belt off-key blues and flop. The Roman craft is different. They're soothing a spiritual legacy far beyond the Byzantine folders, petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven chants which seem distant against this artistry. The festival's energy surrounds you, a child's giggle blending with the chant, the city's hum a gentle backdrop, but the women's voices feel like a sanctuary, their myths a chorus that grounds the day. You glance at the circle, the women's tales, spirits, trays, peace, rising with the sunlight, their melodies shared with young apprentices, their eyes bright with focus. The matron pauses, offering a sky rest tale to a neighbor, her voice clear as she weaves its myth, the neighbor echoing with pride. You yawn, the lyre's pulse, and the women's chants blending with the festival's lively buzz, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that mercy pulse, its secret spark ensuring a bathhouse's peace, and realize these women's myths aren't just art, they're guidance, each chant a spark like the Persian priest's hidden rose poems, both weaving stories into the everyday. The festival's harmony binds them, each verse a slice their song, a tapestry of shared light. You notice the teenage girl, her chant steadier, now leading a hearthrest verse with confidence, the matron's nod, a silent blessing, their voices a legacy that carries the Roman heart. You laugh again, picturing your local choir singing snack myths. Sorry folks, you'd hit flat note blues and flop. The storeroom's archives and market trades feel close, but the women's snack myths are the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. The ceremonial platform's rites and alleys' tales linger in memory, but the women's voices are the festival's soul, guiding the sleepless to rest. You linger in the square, the women's voices a quiet hum, and you're ready to see how youth learn these soothing tales, their lessons waiting in the city's shaded calm. You've slipped away from the festival square's lively chants, their women's voices now a warm echo, and find yourself in a shaded courtyard, tucked beside a Pompeii bathhouse around 70 CE, where the morning light filters through vine-covered trellises, casting dappled patterns on the cobblestone ground. The air hums with the distant clatter of market carts and the playful giggles of children gathered around a wise matron, her hands guiding them to hum a snack tale under a hazy sky, their voices aimed at a small tray of figs and bread nestled on a wooden table. You're here to watch these youth learn, memorizing the sacred snack myths through games that will one day guide the city's sleepless through divine serenity, weaving spiritual calm into their young hearts. The rustle of tunics and the children's tentative chants blend into a gentle hum, and you're ready to witness their budding craft. You settle on a stone bench beside a weathered column, your bare feet brushing the cool cobbles, the sunlight grounding you as you watch the matron, a woman with a voice like a morning breeze, lead a hearth rest. Her hands gesturing a myth of a tray's calm in a flowing chant. The children, their tunics speckled with flour, echo her, their voices stumbling over tales of celestial crumbs and sacred snacks, tossing small clay tokens in a game to mimic a tray's arrangement. Historical records note that Roman youth taught sacred rituals from childhood across the empire from the 1st century CE, learned snack myths through repetition and play, ensuring the oral and spiritual preservation of these tales vital for bathhouse worship. You feel the joy of their learning, each note a spark, its melody a legacy to soothe future nights, far beyond the Viking woven games or Egyptian desert lessons. You smirk as a young girl, a playful echo of the pulse-drifting teen adds a spin to her market rests. Pretending her clay token is a dancing fig, earning giggles from her friends and a gentle tap from the matron. Keep it sacred, hum twirler, you mutter, chuckling at her cheeky grin. The quirky truth is that children often use bite tosses, silly rhymes like crumbs, rise peace surprises to make myth memorization fun, with one story claiming a trail toss helped a child recall a sky hymn during an elder's test. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga wincing at a scroll full of playful snack tales and grin. But the humor fades as you see the matron's patient smile, her voice guiding the girl, the chanting a lesson in joy and duty, not unlike the Inca children's quinoa chant games, though here it's snacks, not crops that endure. The matron shifts to a skypath hymn, her voice steady, teaching the children to sync their chanting with their breath, while a boy tosses a clay token to trace a crumb's path, his voice wobbly but earnest. You lean closer, the olive oil's earthy scent curling around you, and feel the tenderness of this teaching the myths, not just tales but a bridge to the past, binding the children to their mothers, traders, and masters. The act is both playful and vital, the chant's a canvas for melodies that soothe restless souls. Historians still argue whether youth's role in learning snack myths was formal, a structured guild initiation, or playful absorbed through community life. You're leaning toward playful, sensing the joy in their laughter. They're learning a dance of love and craft like the Mali and Griot's children's games, though here it's snacks, not Korah myths that carry the tradition. You accept a piece of honeyed bread from a vendor, its sticky warmth grounding you, and try humming. The hearth, rest hymn, stumbling on the rhythm, earning a kind clap from a boy who shows you the beat. You laugh softly, imagining teaching your kids a digital chanting app. Yeah, you'd get pixel tantrum blues in a mess. The Roman craft is different, its myths a vibrant legacy far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven chants which seem distant against this oral heritage. The courtyard's peace surrounds you, a bird's call, blending with the chants the festival's hum, a gentle backdrop, but the children's voices feel like a sanctuary, their myths a budding chorus in the morning light. You glance at the group, the children's tales, spirits, trays, peace, rising with the matron's guidance, their melodies now clearer, some tracing crumb pulses in the flour to mark sacred recipes, each chant a step toward mastery. The matron pauses, offering a sea rest hymn to a girl, her voice clear, as she names the myth's items, her echo proud but shy. You yawn, the vines rustle, and the children's chants blending with the courtyard's quiet, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that trail-tossed tale, its playful spark guiding an elder's test, and realize this learning isn't just skill. It's memory. Each snack chant a spark like the Polynesian navigator's star path games, both weaving stories into the future. You notice the young boy, his chant steadier, now leading a skyrest verse with care, his clay token tracing its arc in the air, the matron's nod a silent blessing. The courtyard's warmth binds them, each melody a shared lesson, their voices a legacy that carries the Roman soul. You laugh again, picturing your local kids singing snack myths, sorry little chanters you'd hit off-tune blues and flop. The festival's sacred rituals and women's tales feel close, but the youth snack myths are the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger in the courtyard, the children's voices a quiet hum, and you're ready to ponder the origins of these snack myths, their roots waiting in the city's morning light. You're still nestled in the shaded courtyard beside the Pompeii bathhouse around 70 CE, where the morning light weaves through vine-covered trellises, casting golden flecks across the cobblestone ground. The air alive with the soft hum of olive oil and the playful chants of children practicing hearth rest and market path myths for sacred snack crafts. The matron's teaching lingers, her gentle chime a tender echo. But now you sit quietly on your stone bench, pondering the origins of these snack myths, the question of why Roman bathhouses began crafting these divine recipes of celestial trays and calming serenity to soothe the sleepless hearts of bathers. The rustle of tunics and the children's chants blend with the distant clatter of a cart, a soothing cadence that pulls you into a reflective haze, and you're ready to sift through this crumbly mystery. You shift on the cool bench, your bare feet brushing the damp cobbles, the courtyard's tranquility a comforting embrace as you watch the matron guide a skyrest, hymn, her voice weaving a myth of a tray's peace in a flowing chant. The children echo her, their voices a budding chorus, but your mind drifts to the roots of this tradition. Historical records suggest that Roman snack myths flourishing across the empire from the 1st century CE likely drew from earlier Mediterranean practices, possibly as early as the Etruscan era, blending spiritual devotion with the practical need to nourish bathhouse patrons, though their precise spark in Pompeii's rituals remains veiled in time. You feel the weight of this riddle, each chant a spark, its origins a crumb, hidden in the Roman tapestry far beyond the Viking woven roots or Egyptian desert beginnings. You smirk as the young girl, that hum-twirling bite-tosser, tries to impress her friends with a made-up crumbs hum pattern, only to jumble the rhythm, earning a giggle and a nudge from the matron. Keep it true, myth tinker, you mutter, chuckling at her pout. The quirky truth is that some myths claim the tradition began with a legendary vendor, Mistress Flavia, whose snack-inspired tales soothed a bathhouse during a plague sphere, her hearth song inspiring the first snack rituals. One tale insists her craft birthed the crumb, pulses a gift from divine inspiration. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of Flavia's myths and grin, but the humor fades as you ponder the origins. The courtyards chant a living thread to a past both sacred and practical, not unlike the Malian griot's Kora song roots. Scholars puzzle over whether snack myths were a deliberate creation, perhaps by a wise figure like the matron, before you blending spiritual needs with culinary beauty, or an organic evolution growing from centuries of communal storytelling to nurture Roman souls. Some argue it arose from necessity, calming bathers in a bustling city, while others see a divine root tying elders to eternal calm through celestial trays. Historians still argue whether the origins of snack myths lie in practicality, artistry, or devotion, a human spark or a sacred gift. You're leaning toward devotion, feeling the matron's chant, its rhythm both precise and soulful, like the Polynesian navigator's starlit chants born from navigation and spirit. Though here it's the snack's pulse, not the sea, that holds the mystery, distinct from the Inca quinoa chant's earthy roots. You lean closer, the olive oil's earthy scent curling around you, the matron's sea rest tale blending with the children's voices, a tapestry of melodies that hint at the craft's deep roots. You imagine the first vendor under these same vines humming a hearth tale to calm a sleepless scribe, her chant a simple act that grew into a tradition. The debate swirls, its answers lost in time, but the myth's power is undeniable, guiding the sleepless through Roman trials. You laugh softly, picturing debating this with your friends. Yeah, you'd be arguing over mythical fig blues by now. The Roman craft endures, unlike the Byzantine folder's fragile scrolls. Its melodies a living archive carried in voices far beyond the Persian priest's ritual chants, though both preserve stories in their art. The courtyard hums with life, the boy now chanting a skyrest verse with confidence, his clay token tracing its arc in the air, while the girl tries a hearth rest, hymn, her voice wobbly but determined. You yawn, the vines rustle, and the children's chants blending with the distant festival's hum, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that Flavia legend, her hearth song, a divine spark, and realize the origins, whether myth or truth, are less vital than the chant's persistence, each snack verse a spark, like the Malian griot's river of song, both weaving tales across time. The children's voices rise their melodies, a clue to a past that lives in the courtyard's rhythm, the matron's guidance a steady anchor. You glance at the cobblestone ground where small clay tokens are scattered, spirits, trays, peace, each speck a hint of a history, chanted through generations ready for the Roman embrace. The matron pauses, offering a market rest tale to a vendor, her voice clear, the verse echoing the children's play, a cycle of memory. You laugh again, imagining your local school, debating snack origins over homework. Sorry kids, you'd flunk with textbook blues. The festival's joy and market's trades feel close, but the snack myth's origins are the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger in the courtyard, the children's voices, a quiet hum, and you're ready to see how these myths defy the city's hardships, their resilience waiting in Pompeii's stormy trials. You've left the courtyard's playful bite tosses behind their youthful voices, now a tender memory, and find yourself huddled in a cramped tavern near Pompeii's bathhouse around 70 CE, where the air is thick with the scent of damp bread and the roar of a storm rattling the wooden shutters. The fire sputters under gusts, slipping through the cracks, and distant shouts echo from a family shaken by the tempest's threat. Yet by a worn serving table, an elder vendor's voice rises, her hand steady as she chants a snack myth, its sacred melody unwavering despite the chaos. You're here to see how these snack myths defy the city's hardships, their sacred narratives of celestial trays and calming serenity, crafted to soothe both vendor and soul through storms and strife, a testament to their resilience. The howl of wind and the elder's whispered myth blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel their defiance. You huddle on a rickety stool by the table, your bare feet brushing the cold stone floor, the storm's chill pressing as the elder, a woman with eyes fierce as a torch's flame, stands firm, her voice chanting a sea rest hymn in a resonant tone, recounting a tray's triumph over chaos to find divine peace. Historical records note that Roman snack myths thriving across the empire from the 1st century CE faced frequent environmental and social hardships, with vendors reciting sacred tales during crises to invoke spiritual calm and guide communities through unrest, their chants a cultural anchor in urban taverns and bathhouses. These myths, you learn, are more than melodies, they're lifelines. Their rhythms a shield against the city's despair, guiding tavern dwellers to endurance, despite the tempest's angry roar far beyond the Viking storm, defying woven chants or Egyptian desert songs. You smirk as a young vendor, a nervous echo of the hum-twirling girl, clutches a clay token and whispers, "If the tray truly holds the storm," earning a gentle nod and a softer retelling from the elder. "Hold the chant fierce, slicer," you mutter, chuckling at her wide-eyed nod. The quirky truth is that some myths included crumb pulses, repetitive melodic patterns like snacks hold peace, unfolds designed for turbulent times, countering the chaos of storms or communal strife. One tale claims a mercy pulse hymn led a tavern to harmony during a flood's havoc. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of storm-soothing snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the elder's resolve, her myth, a beacon, each note a spark defying the storm's cruelty, not unlike the Malian griot's war-defying songs, though here it's the snack, not Cora, that anchors. Her voice rises, weaving a sky-rest hymn, despite the storm's weight, her melody sinking with a fleeting calm between gusts, the young vendor's murmurs joining in, their trust in the myth unwavering. You lean closer, the stool's damp wood creaking under you, and feel the power of this guidance, the chanting a memory that holds firm. When fear reigns the Roman pulse, a rhythm hummed through the haze. The act is both defiance and faith, the myth's rhythm tying the elder to hope, to Vesta, to survival in a battle against the tempest's fury. Historians still argue whether these hardship-defying myths relied more on cultural memory, recalling snack recipes or emotional resonance soothing immediate fears. You're leaning toward emotional, sensing the elder's soothing intent, her chant akin to the Inca's frost-weaving quinoa, chants both crafting hope from hardship, though here it's snacks, not grains that bind. You brace against a wobbly bench, the elder's chant unwavering, now weaving a hearth path, hymn its quick patterns, a crumb pulse matching the family's ebb. The young vendor's voice steady, finding peace amid the strife. You laugh softly, imagining calming your own stress with a mindfulness app. Yeah, you'd be scrolling panic, crash, blues, and frazzled. The Roman craft is different. Its snack chants a fortress of melody, far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven chants which seem trivial against this fight for calm. The storm's roar surrounds you, a gust scattering ash, but the elder's voice holds you, its rhythm a shield against the night. You glance at the tavern, the fire scarred, its sparse family softened by the table, the young vendor now chanting softly, her clay token loose, learning to soothe through fear. You yawn the storm's weight, and the elder's myth blending with a distant gull's cry, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids despite the chaos. You think back to that mercy pulse tale at Spark saving a tavern, and realize these myths aren't just songs. Their resilience, each chant a bond against Roman trials like the Polynesian navigators' storm-defying chants, both weaving peace into chaos. The storm steadies, a faint break in the clouds promising calm, the elder's chant quickening, the young vendor's murmurs in sync. You notice a weary poet, her cloak torn, joining the chant, her voice firm, the hearth rest. Hymn, a vow of endurance, her eyes fixed on the tray's glow. The chanting's music is alive more than a myth. It's the Roman heartbeat soothing souls where others would falter. You laugh again, picturing your local survivalist spinning storm tales. Sorry, mate. You'd be stuck with ration flop blues and adrift. The elder's art is a marvel. Its snack chants a chaos-proof guide, their myths a testament to divine spirit, defying the city's turmoil, where the Byzantine folder's complaints would falter. You linger by the table, the elder's voice steady as she chants in the storm's tension, easing a star piercing the haze. The festival's joy a faint echo, but the sacred snack myths carry you a craft that feeds heart and soul, its resilience the spark you'll soon see, traded across provinces. You feel the weight of its defiance, the tavern a haven in the tempest, and you're ready to witness the sharing of these recipes. The city calms, the stars brighter, and you drift closer to sleep. The scent of damp bread and the chant's rhythm a lullaby in Pompeii's endless night. You've left the tavern's crumb pulses behind their sacred chants, now a fading memory, and find yourself trudging alongside a sun-warmed trade route, weaving through the Italian countryside around 70 CE, where the morning air hums with the scent of fresh-baked bread and the chatter of vendors from neighboring provinces, their voices carrying sacred snack myths across the dusty paths. The horizon shimmers with fields of wheat, but among the carts laden with olives, tales of sea rest and hearth rest trays are traded like precious wares, their recipes binding communities from Pompeii's bathhouses to distant market towns like Ostia. You're here to witness the trading of these spiritual myths carried from Roman cities to bustling trade routes, their narratives weaving kinship and calm through the empire's endless trails to ease bathers' restless nights. The jingle of coins and the trader's melodic chants blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to follow this crumbly commerce. You settle on a woven mat by a vendor's cart, your bare feet sinking into the dusty earth, the sunlight catching the olive dust as you watch a vendor. A grizzled man with a flour-dusted tunic offer a sky rest tray, recipe to a merchant from Neapolis, his voice chanting a myth of a divine snack's peace in a flowing rhythm. He recites the melody, a map to serenity, and the merchant echoes at their voices, a bridge across provinces. Historical records note that Roman trade networks thriving across the empire from the 1st century CE exchanged snack recipes as cultural currency, with vendors sharing sacred spiritual stories to strengthen alliances and guide ritual offerings, linking distant communities through shared narratives. You feel the pulse of this trade, each verse a spark, its melody weaving connections among strangers, far beyond the Viking woven myth swaps or Egyptian desert exchanges. You smirk as a young vendor, a lively echo of the fear-slicing youth, tries to barter a market rest tray, but stumbles mixing the hearth's fold with a sky's tail, earning a chuckle and a clay bite token from his buyer. "Keep it sacred, myth haggler," you mutter, chuckling at his sheepish grin. The quirky truth is that some traders use snack tokens, small clay markers etched with symbols like a spiral or crumb, to mark a recipe's exchange, ensuring its memory across long routes, with one story claiming a mercy token opened a trade path during a merchant's dispute. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of token snack tales and grin. But the humor fades as you see the vendor's pride, his myth a gift of calm, each word a spark of kinship, not unlike the Malian trader's song seals, though here it's snacks, not Korah, songs that bind. The grizzled vendor shares a hearthpath hymn, his voice steady, offering it for a jug of wine, both parties reciting the melody, their harmony sealing the exchange as a promise of shared peace. You lean closer, the scent of wheat and wood smoke mingling, and accept a sip of diluted wine from a clay cup, its tart tang grounding you as you hum the sky rest verse, stumbling but earning a nod. You laugh softly, imagining trading your bedtime stories for snacks. Yeah, you'd get crumbly tail blues and a blank stare. The Roman craft is different. Its snack swaps a melodic currency far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' knot tokens, which seem trivial against this artful exchange. The trade route's buzz surrounds you, a child chasing a stray goat at Cart's Creek, but the vendor's myths are beacons, their melodies sparking connection across provinces. You wander to another cart where a woman trades a wave rest tray, recipe for a bundle of herbs, her voice clear as she recounts a celestial spirit, blessing a sleepless farmer, the buyer echoing with reverence their exchange, a vow to share the city's calm. The act is more than trade, it's kinship, the spiritual myths, a language that carries wisdom across storm-scarred fields, even through hardship's shadows. Historians still argue whether these traded myths were primarily economic strengthening trade networks or cultural fostering unity across towns. You're leaning toward cultural sensing, the vendors bond, their voices a shared lullaby, like the Inca traders' quinoa chant, swaps both weaving ties through their craft. You sit by the cart, the wine's tang lingering the vendor's chants, spirits trays, peace rising with the morning breeze, each one a myth carried from the storeroom's heart to distant villages shared across the Roman soul. The young vendor, now bolder, offers a sky rest tale, his melody clear, earning a snack token from his buyer. You yawn the cart's creak and the vendor's chants blending with the trade route's lively hum, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that mercy token tale, its chant opening a path, and realize this trade isn't just commerce, it's connection. Each melody a spark, like the Polynesian navigators exchanged chants, both weaving stories across distances. You notice a woman vendor, her basket heavy with figs, reciting a hearth rest verse to a visiting miller, her voice strong, the tale a gift that earns a nod of respect. The root's warmth binds them, the snack myths, a currency that outshines unrest scars, linking towns with shared dreams. You laugh again, picturing your local market, swapping poems for goods. Sorry folks, you'd flop with barter blues. The tavern storm chants and festival's joy feel close, but the vendors' traded myths are the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger by the cart, the vendor's voice a quiet hum, the field's breeze whispering calm, the chant's melody a gentle tide, and you're ready to hear elders' sacred preservation, their wisdom waiting in the city's quiet glow. You've left the trade route's cart-laden paths behind, their snack tokens now a warm hum, and find yourself seated in a serene courtyard, tucked within a Pompeii bathhouse around 70 CE, where the midday light filters through a trellis of grapevines, casting soft patterns on the stone floor, strewn with olive dust. The air carries the faint scent of yeast and the distant echo of market bustle, but within this hushed space, revered elders gather their voices low as they recite sacred myths of market rest and hearth, rest trays ensuring these soothing recipes endure for future generations of bathers. You're here to hear these elders preserve their sacred snack chants, their stewardship of divine narratives, a vital act that binds the Roman city to its spiritual heritage. The rustle of tunics and the elders' rhythmic chants blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this reverence. You settle on a woven mat near a weathered stone table, your bare feet brushing the cool tiles, the dim light warming your skin as you watch a master elder, a woman with eyes weathered by countless myths, lead a sky path hymn, her voice chanting a Trey's journey to celestial serenity in a flowing rhythm. She recites with deliberate care, her melody a map to rest the other elders echoing softly, their voices a chorus of memory guiding a young vendor who listens intently, clutching a clay token etched with a spiral. Historical records note that Roman elders central to cultural preservation across the empire from the 1st century CE served as custodians of snack-chanting rituals, maintaining oral traditions to ensure their calming wisdom survived for festivals and bathhouse rites. You feel the weight of this stewardship, each chant a spark, its melody a sacred trust that holds the Roman soul far beyond the Viking woven archives or Egyptian starry scrolls. You smirk as a younger elder, a wise echo of the myth-haggling vendor fumbles a wave rest hymn, mixing a sky's rise with a hearth's tale, earning a gentle correction and a stifled chuckle from the group. Keep the path, storykeeper, you mutter, chuckling at her nod. The quirky truth is that some elders use crumb markers, small clay tokens etched with symbols like a loaf or tide to aid myth recall, with one story claiming a peace marker preserved a town's recipes during a bandit raid's chaos. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of marked snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you see the master's focus her chant a sacred duty each word, a recipe preserved for the future, not unlike the Mali and Griot's oral archives, though here it's snacks, not Korah myths that endure. The master shifts now, chanting a hearth rest hymn, her voice tracing Master Livia's gift of a celestial tray, the others joining in their harmony, a vow to keep the melody alive, passing it to the young vendor, who nods with wide eyes. You lean closer, the yeast's earthy scent grounding you, and feel the gravity of this preservation, the chanting not just myths, but a legacy tying the city to its spiritual roots, their divine calm, their dreams. The act is both ritual and responsibility, the elders' voices ensuring every weary soul finds peace, their wisdom a shield against time's erosion. Historians still argue whether elders' preservation of snack myths was primarily practical, ensuring recipe accuracy, or spiritual, honoring cosmic calm. You're leaning towards spiritual, sensing the master's reverence, her chant a prayer for serenity, like the Inca elders' quinoa chant preservation, though here it's snacks, not grains, that carry the tale. You accept a sip of diluted wine from a clay cup, its bitter tang grounding you, and try humming the Skypath hymn, stumbling on the rhythm, earning a kind nod from the young vendor who taps the beat. You laugh softly, imagining archiving your family's stories for posterity. Yeah, you'd get digital dust blues and a mess. The Roman craft is different, its myths a sacred archive far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven chants which seem trivial against this reverence. The courtyard's quiet surrounds you, a distant vendor's call blending with the chants the trade routes hum, a faint echo, but the circle feels like a sanctuary, their voices a chorus that holds the past. You glance at the crumb markers, their symbols resting beside the master, their marks a guide for her chants, the young vendor studying them with care, learning to preserve the sacred. The younger elder tries again, her hearth rest hymn, clearer, her voice steady, earning a nod from the group. You yawn, the light's warmth and the elder's chants blending with the courtyard's stillness, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that peace marker tale, its rhythm saving a town's recipes, and realize this preservation isn't just duty, it's devotion. Each note a spark like the Polynesian navigators' memorized verses, both safeguarding stories for the future. The elders' harmony binds them, each tale a slice, their wisdom a tapestry of shared calm. You notice the young vendor, her chant tentative but growing bold, reciting a sea rest verse, the master's faint smile, a silent blessing, their work a vow to keep the myths alive. The courtyard's warmth binds them, each melody a shared trust, their voices a legacy of the Roman art. You laugh again, picturing your local historian preserving old poems, sorry pal, you'd flop with archive blues. The storm-tossed tavern and festival's joy feel close, but the elders' sacred preservation is the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger in the courtyard, the elder's voice a quiet hum, the stone's shade a gentle veil, and you're ready to feel the fragile thread of memory that holds these snack chants, their delicate preservation, waiting in the city's sacred hush. You're still seated in the serene courtyard within the Pompeii bathhouse around 70 CE, where the midday light spills through grapevine trellises, casting soft shadows across the stone floor, dusted with olive crumbs, and the air hums with the scent of yeast and the distant clatter of cobblestone streets. The Master Elder's hearth rest hymn lingers its sacred preservation, a tender memory. But now you sit quietly feeling the fragile thread of memory that holds these sacred snack chants, a delicate chain of voices safeguarding the Roman city's divine myths against the erosion of time storms and urban strife. The rustle of woven mats and the elders' murmured chants blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to sense the weight of this fleeting legacy. You shift on your woven mat, your bare feet brushing the cool tiles, the courtyard's stillness, a cocoon as you watch the Master Elder, a woman with a voice like a fading ember, chant a market path hymn, her words tracing a tray's path to divine calm, with careful precision, her tone heavy with the knowledge that these melodies live only in voices, not in clay tokens or olive dust. The younger elders echo softly their harmony, a vow to anchor the tale in memory, while a young vendor listens, her eyes wide with the burden of learning, her hands clutching a crumb marker etched with a loaf symbol. Historical records note that Roman snack chants thriving across the empire from the 1st century CE relied heavily on oral memory, with tales preserved through recitation, making their narratives a fragile archive carried by voices alone, unlike the Viking woven chants' runic aids, but sharing their vulnerability. You feel the weight of this task, each chant a spark its survival, resting on voices that could falter in crisis or dispersal. You smirk as the young vendor, a cautious echo of the story-keeping elder, tries to recite a skyrest hymn, but stumbles, mixing serenity with crumb glow, earning a patient nod and a stifled giggle from another elder. "Hold the tray verse mixer," you mutter, chuckling at her flushed cheeks. The quirky truth is that some elders taught snack-tied short repetitive chants like trays rise, spirits rest to help youth lock snack myths in memory, with one tale claiming a harmony. Tide saved a bathhouse's myths during a fire's chaos. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga wincing at a scroll full of title snack tales and grin. But the humor fades as you see the master's focus, her chant a desperate bid to preserve the myths, their memory, a fragile thread against Roman trials, not unlike the Maulian griot's vulnerable oral tales. The master pauses, her gaze distant as if hearing the voices of past elders, matrons, traders, masters whose chants have kept these melodies alive through centuries of markets and storms. You lean closer, the yeast's earthy scent blending with stone, and feel the weight of this task, the myth's survival resting on voices that could vanish with a single generation's silence. The act is both sacred and precarious, the chants a living archive that could fade with disruption. Historians still argue whether the oral nature of snack myths made them vulnerable, easily lost to disruption, or resilient, adaptable through communal memory. You're leaning toward vulnerable, sensing the master's quiet fear, her work akin to the Inca scribe's quipu knots, both fragile in memory, though here it's voices, not chords, that hold the heart. You steady yourself on the mat, the young vendor now chanting a hearth rest hymn, her voice shaky but determined, practicing to hold the melody in her mind, not just on the elder's crumb markers. You laugh softly, imagining memorizing your favorite songs as a kid. Yeah, you'd get lyric laps, blues, and a mess. The Roman craft is different. Its myths, a fleeting vessel for melodies that soothe sleepless nights, far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven chants which seem trivial against this delicate memory. The courtyard's hush surrounds you, a distant horse's clop, blending with the elders' voices. The trade routes hum, a faint echo, but the circle feels like a sanctuary, their voices a fragile chorus against time. You glance at the crumb markers, their symbols deep with meaning, resting beside the master. Their marks a guide for the chants, but the true archive is the voices, a chain as delicate as a Pompeii breeze. The master pauses, offering a nod to the young vendor, her eyes heavy with the burden of memory, the myths a treasure she fears losing. You yawn, the dim light's warmth and the murmured myths blending with the courtyard stillness, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that harmony-tied tale, its verses saving a bathhouse's legacy, and realize this memory isn't just preservation, it's survival. Each note a spark like the Polynesian navigator's oral chants, both clinging to life through voices. You notice the young vendor, her chant steadier, now reciting the sea rest verse without error, the master's faint smile, a silent blessing, their work a vow to keep the melodies alive. The courtyard's warmth binds them each a tale, a fragile link, their voices a testament to the Roman art. You laugh again, picturing your local librarian memorizing snack myths. Sorry, pal, you'd flop with memory skip blues. The tavern storm chants and trade routes exchanges feel close, but the elder's fragile memory is the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger in the courtyard, the elder's voice a quiet hum, the stone's shade a gentle veil, and you're ready to face the shadow of reform that threatens these fragile chants, their resilience waiting in the city's twilight whispers. You've left the courtyard's flower-dusted stillness behind its crumb markers, now a tender echo, and find yourself slipping into a tense bakery near Pompeii's market around 70 CE, where the air is heavy with the scent of olive oil, and the distant hum of ox-drawn carts, their rumble signaling the spread of imperial commerce. The wooden counters are worn, but the atmosphere feels strained. Its elders wary of imperial reform's threat to sacred market rest, and hearth rests chants their recipes at risk of being silenced by shifts toward mass-produced snacks that prioritize profit over the bathhouse's intimate spiritual rites. You're here to see the shadow of reform, how these divine soothing myths face disruption, their survival hanging by the fragile thread of memory in a world reshaped by commercial change. The faint clink of clay tokens and a whispered chant blend into a somber hum, and you're ready to feel this struggle. You edge into a shadowed corner of the bakery, your bare feet silent on the gritty floor, the lamplight casting flickers on stone walls as you find a small group of elders huddled around a kneading table, their faces taut with resolve. A master elder, her eyes fierce with defiance, chants a sky-rest hymn in a hushed tone, her voice barely audible to avoid the ears of market overseers, weaving a myth of a celestial tray enduring chaos to find peace. Historical records note that in the 1st century CE, Roman bakeries faced imperial reforms as centralized grain markets and commercial baking, particularly in urban hubs like Pompeii, sought to streamline production, threatening traditional snack chants in bathhouse communities. You feel the weight of this threat, each chant a spark, its melody a flickering flame against encroaching loss, far beyond the Vikings' reform struggles or Egyptian technological shifts. You smirk as a young vendor, a cautious echo of the verse. Mixing youth tries to join the chant, but hums too loudly, her wave-rest hymn, drawing a hushed warning from the elder, her wide eyes reflecting the lamp's glow. Keep it soft, shadow chanter, you mutter, chuckling at her quick nod. The quirky truth is that some elders hid their snack myths in veiled pulses, blending sacred chants into mundane work songs to evade market scrutiny, preserving their melodies in secret. One tale claims a peace pulse hymn kept a bakery's rituals alive during an overseer's inspection. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of covert snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elder's tension. Her myth, a fragile thread, its melody, a quiet rebellion against imperial reforms, not unlike the Inca farmers' hidden quinoa chants under colonial rule. The elder's voice lowers, now chanting a hearth rest tale, her melody barely audible syncing with a faint breeze's rhythm, the group echoing softly, their voices a secret vow to keep the sliced light alive. You lean closer, the lamp's faint warmth battling the bakery's chill, and feel the urgency of this act. The myths, not just chants, but a lifeline, their music a whisper of spiritual identity in a city under reform's siege. The bakery is a refuge, its shadows hiding the chanters from prying ears, yet the weight of change presses in a distant cart's clank, echoing from the market. Historians still argue whether imperial reform erased Roman snack myths or drove them underground, preserved in secret by resilient elders. You're leaning toward underground, sensing the elder's defiance, her chant akin to the Malian griot's hidden songs under foreign pressure, both guarding their soul through stealth. You steady yourself against a flour barrel, the elder's chant unwavering now, weaving a crumb pulse verse, its quick hums disguised as a milling tally. The group's voices soft but resolute, guarding the melody from market overseers' ears. You laugh softly, imagining hiding your favorite playlist from a nosy boss. Yeah, you get covert track blues and caught. The Roman craft is different. Its snack chants a secret fortress far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven chants which seemed trivial against this fight for heritage. The bakery's tension surrounds you, a market's clamor fading in the distance, but the lamp holds firm, the elder's voice a thread of light in the dark. You glance at the group, their chants, spirits, trays, peace, barely whispered, each one a fragile defiance shared among the huddled few. The young vendor recites her wave rest, hymn again quieter now, her voice a spark of hope, drawing a nod from the elder, her eyes unyielding. You yawn, the lamp's flicker, and the whispered chants blending with the bakery's hushed fear, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids despite the strain. You think back to that peace pulse hymn, its secrecy a lifeline, and realize these snack tales aren't just myths. Their resistance, each note a spark, like the Polynesian navigator's secret chants, both preserving their soul through stealth. You notice an older elder, his tunic frayed, joining the chant, his voice faint but firm, the sky rest verse a shared vow against reform's shadow. The master elder's voice never falters her melody, a gift that outshines the bakery's peril, binding this tiny refuge. You laugh again, picturing your local band hiding songs from a new trend. Sorry mates, you'd flop with band beat blues. The courtyard's sacred preservation and trade routes exchanges feel close, but the snack chant's fragile memory is the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger by the barrel, the elder's voice a quiet hum, and you're ready to see the resilience of these snack chants shine through the reform's threat, their enduring spirit waiting in the city's hidden corners. You're still crouched in the shadowed corner of the weathered bakery near Pompey's market around 70 CE, where the evening air hums with the faint clink of clay tokens and the soft glow of a lamp, its light barely piercing the tension of ox-drawn carts rumbling beyond the stone walls. The thread of imperial reform lingers with mass-produced snacks pushing profit over the intimate snack myths, yet within this refuge a small group of elders chant softly, their sky rest and wave rests recipes a defiant heartbeat against the risk of erasure. You're here to witness their resilience, how these elders reclaim their sacred celestial melodies, preserving the myths of sliced trays and cosmic serenity through secrecy and spirit, ensuring their legacy endures for the city's sleepless bathers. The flicker of lamps and the elders' whispered verses blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel their enduring strength. You edge closer to the kneading table, your bare feet silent on the gritty floor, its chill a fragile shield against the bakery's tension, as you watch the master elder, her eyes like a storm's edge, chant a hearth-rest hymn in a hushed tone, her voice low to evade market overseers, recounting a divine tray's triumph over hardship to soothe a sleepless tavern. Her melody, a veiled pulse disguised as a milling song, guides the group's quiet echoes, their voices a vow to keep the Roman soul alive. Historical records note that despite imperial reforms in the 1st century CE, some Roman elders preserved snack chanting in secret gatherings, defying commercial baking to maintain their heritage through hidden myths, particularly in Pompey's working-class districts. You feel the weight of their courage, each chant a spark, its melody a rebellion against cultural loss, not unlike the Vikings' defiance of reform or the Inca's resistance to colonial shifts. You smirk as the young vendor, that shadow-chanting verse mixer, tries to mimic the wave rest hymn, but stumbles her whisper, too eager, earning a gentle hush from an older elder, her eyes wide with determination. "Keep it steady, myth whisperer," you mutter, chuckling at her quick nod. The quirky truth is that some elders embedded spirit pulses in their chants, subtle melodic patterns like peace flow's crumbs, grow to signal a hidden sacred tale within a mundane work song, fooling market inspectors. One tale claims a trail pulse preserved a bakery's myths through a forced market audit. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga, groaning at a scroll full of cued snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you see the master elder's focus, her chant a lifeline, its melody a shield against reform's erasure, echoing the Malian griot's hidden songs under foreign rule. The master elder's voice strengthens now, weaving a sky rest tale, her melody sinking with a faint night breeze, the group's voices joining in a quiet chorus, their harmony a vow to reclaim their heritage, despite the cart's rumble beyond. You lean in the lamp's glow, warming your face, and feel the power of this resilience. The myths, not just melodies, but a testament to spiritual identity. Their music, a whispered defiance in a world of commercial upheaval. The act is both resistance and renewal, the chant's rhythms tying the group to their ancestors, their faith, their city. Historians still argue whether this resilience stemmed from cultural pride, preserving the Roman legacy, or survival ensuring myths for future devotees. You're leaning toward pride, sensing the elders' unyielding spirit, her chant akin to the Inca farmer's defiance, both holding fast through adversity, though here it snacks not quinoa that carries the heart. You brace against a worn barrel, the master elder's chant unwavering now, weaving a crumb pulse verse, its quick hums disguised as a flower tally. The group's voices steady, guarding the melody from overseer's ears. You laugh softly, imagining hiding your favorite books from a nosy roommate. Yeah, you'd get sneaky page blues and busted. The Roman craft is different, its myths a fortress of memory far beyond the Byzantine folders, petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven chants which seem trivial against this fight for heritage. The bakery's secrecy surrounds you, a distant market's clank fading, but the elders' voices hold firm, their melody a thread of light in the dark. You glance at the group, their chant spirits trays peace, whispered but fierce, each one a silent stand, shared among the huddled few. The older elder, his tunic adorned with a simple spiral, joins the hearth rest, chant his voice, resolute, drawing a nod from the master elder, their bond forged in defiance. You yawn, the lamp's flicker, and the murmured verses blending with the bakery's hushed tension, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that trail pulse chant, its secrecy a lifeline, and realize this resilience isn't just survival. It's legacy, each chant a spark like the Polynesian navigators' hidden chants, both guarding their soul through stealth. You notice the young vendor, her chant softer now, leading a wave rest verse with care. Her voice a spark of hope, learning to carry the tradition forward. The master elder's melody never falters her myth, a gift that outshines reform's shadow binding this fragile refuge. You laugh again, picturing your local poet smuggling tales past a band sorry mate you'd flop with censored rhyme blues. The courtyard's preservation and trade routes exchanges feel close, but the snack chant's resilience is the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger by the barrel, the elder's voice a quiet hum, and you're ready to hear these myths echo in today's world, their modern revival waiting in the vibrant glow of cultural renewal. You've left the bakery's shadowed chants behind their resilient myths, now a distant memory, and find yourself seated in a vibrant cultural center, perhaps in Rome or a global hub like London in May 2025, where the air hums with the scent of fresh-baked bread and the soft glow of digital screens displaying ancient Roman tray patterns. The walls are adorned with replica snack stalls, and a touchscreen nearby showcases wave rest myths, their tales gleaming in modern light. You're here to hear these sacred snack chants echo in today's world, where elders, vendors, and youth blend tales of celestial trays with contemporary platforms, preserving their heritage from imperial reform's shadows to global audiences seeking solace for sleepless nights. The murmur of a workshop and the rhythm of a chanted myth blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to trace this living legacy. You settle into a cushioned chair, your sneakers scuffing the polished floor, the center's warm light illuminating a tablet, displaying a translated hearthrest hymn, its words recounting a tray's divine peace once whispered under market threats. A nearby elder reads aloud, her voice echoing the Roman rhythm, while students record the session on their phones, blending ancient myth with digital archives. Historical records note that since the 20th century, Roman snack chanting traditions have been revived through cultural preservation efforts, with communities in Italy and beyond inspiring modern exhibitions and digital projects reclaiming chants suppressed by imperial reforms. You feel the vibrancy of this revival, each tale a spark, its melody a thread, linking Roman bathhouses to today's centers far beyond the Viking woven revivals or Egyptian desert echoes. You smirk as a teenage volunteer, a tech-savvy echo of the shadow-chanting vendor, tries to share the Skypath hymn on a podcast, but flubs the pronunciation, giggling as her friend corrects her with a grin. "Keep it ancient pod slicer," you mutter, chuckling at her playful shrug. The quirky truth is that some cultural centers host snack jams, where youth remix snack myths with traditional Roman lute tunes, blending sea rest verses with acoustic tracks, with a 2024 Rome Events crumb beat going viral, inspiring global audiences to explore Roman heritage. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of podcasted snack tales and grin. But the humor fades as you see the elder's pride, her reading a living echo its melody a bridge across centuries, not unlike the Mali and Griot's modern Coro revivals. The elder shifts to a crumb-pulsed wave tale, sharing it with the students, their voices testing the Roman rhythm, their phones uploading the chant to a global cultural database, blending tradition with tech. You lean closer, the bread's yeasty aroma mingling with woven rugs, and accept a piece of artisan focaccia from a facilitator, its tangy crust grounding you as you hum, the hearth rest verse stumbling but earning a nod. You laugh softly, imagining posting a snack chant on social media. Yeah, you'd get low likes, blues, and a flop. The Roman craft is different. Its snack chants a cultural heartbeat far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven chants which seem trivial against this vibrant legacy. The center's buzz surrounds you, a child sketching a tray icon, a printer's hum, but the elders' readings are beacons, their melodies sparking connection in a digital age. You wander to a workshop table where an elder man demonstrates a market path hymn via a touchscreen, his voice strong teaching students who echo it back their laptops, archiving the story for an online cultural project. The act is a testament that tales not just myths, but a vow to endure their music uniting past and present despite reform's scars. Historians still argue whether modern snack chants are a true revival rooted in ancient practice or a reimagination shaped by cultural pride. You're leaning toward revival, sensing the elder's connection to Roman ancestors, his chant akin to the Inca farmers' modern quinoa chants, both enduring through adaptation, though here it's snacks, not grains, that carry the soul. You sit by the table, the focaccia's flavor lingering the elder's chants, spirits trays peace rising with the center's quiet, each one a verse carried from ancient taverns to today's archives, shared across classrooms and screens. The teenage volunteer, now bolder, posts a C-Rest clip, her chant syncing with a beat drawing likes from afar. You yawn, the rugs rustle, and the elder's chants blending with the hum of a nearby fan, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that crumb beat performance, its echo spreading like the Persian priest's viral tales, and realize this craft isn't just memory, it's a renewal, each note a spark weaving tradition into the present. You notice a student reciting a hearthrest hymn via a voice app, her voice clear, the elder nodding their exchange a vow to keep the myths alive. The center's warmth binds them, each tale a shared story. Their voice is a legacy that carries the city's heart. You laugh again, picturing your local book club chanting snack myths. Sorry folks, you'd flop with jumbled verse blues. The bakery's defiance and courtyard's preservation feel close, but the snack chant's modern echo is the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger by the table, the snack chant's rhythm a gentle pulse, and you're ready to compare this craft to modern soothing tools, their fusion waiting in the center's digital glow. You're still nestled in the vibrant cultural center, perhaps in Rome or London in May 2025, where the air hums with the scent of artisan bread and the faint glow of digital screens displaying Roman tray patterns, their intricate spiral motifs shimmering in the light. The quiet chatter of students and the soft rustle of woven rugs fill the space, but your attention is drawn to a touchscreen tablet, showcasing a market rest hymn, its sacred rhythm blending with the buzz of a nearby calming app rendering snack melodies in real time. You're here to compare these timeless snack chants to modern calming tools, as elders and youth weave tales of celestial trays with AI-driven apps, virtual reality, and digital platforms balancing the Roman city's ancient tradition with today's technology to soothe sleepless souls. The clack of keyboards and the murmur of a narrated myth blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this fusion. You settle back into your cushioned chair, your sneakers brushing the polished floor, the center's light warming you as you watch an elder woman, her voice a gentle echo of the Pompeii, matron read a hearthrest hymn from a translated manuscript, her cadence echoing the ancient rhythm while she adjusts a calming app on her tablet, its data syncing with the myth's divine serenity. Historical records note that since the 21st century, Roman snack chanting traditions have been integrated into modern wellness practices with apps and AI-driven tools, recreating sacred spiritual melodies like Sky Path and Wave Rest for users in Italy and beyond, blending their calming myths with technologies like meditation apps and VR relaxation. You feel the tension of this blend, each verse a spark, its melody teetering between ancestral wisdom and digital precision far beyond the Vikings' woven tech aids or Egyptian desert tools. You smirk as the teenage volunteer, that pod-slicing myth whisperer, tries to sync a Skypath hymn to an app's virtual reality simulation, but fumbles the alignment, earning a playful nudge from a friend. "Keep it mythic, tech tangler," you mutter, chuckling at her grin. The quirky truth is that some calming apps now feature tray mode layering ambient sounds like Roman bathhouse steam or vendor slicing with digital meditation guides, with a 2024 app syncing a wave rest hymn to guided breathing gaining traction in wellness communities. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga groaning at a scroll full of app-synced snack tales and grin. But the humor fades as you see the elders focus, her chant a warm thread against technology's chill, its melody a bridge between ancient taverns and modern screens, not unlike the Malian griot's digital Korra adaptations. The elder shifts to a crumb pulse market tale, her voice rising with the myth's cadence, but she tweaks the app's relaxation settings, syncing the hymn's rhythm with a soft beat, the student's earbuds echoing the blend of chant and tech. You lean closer, the focaccia's yeasty aroma curling around you, and accept another piece of artisan bread from the facilitator, its tangy crust grounding you as you hum, the wave rest verse stumbling but earning a nod. You laugh softly, imagining soothing your stress with a smart app. Yeah, you'd get pixel overload, blues, and frazzled. The Roman craft is different. Its snack chants a vibrant fusion far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates, or the Vikings' woven chants which seem trivial against this modern dance of tradition and tech. The center's hum surrounds you, a student stylist tapping a tablet, a fan's whir, but the elders' chants remain beacons grounding the digital age. You wander to a digital relaxation station where an elder man demonstrates a hearth path hymn via a VR platform, his voice clear, using a touchscreen to highlight sacred spiral motifs, the student streaming it live to a wellness webinar. The act feels layered. His chant roots it in the Roman city's past, but the VR's interface ties it to global users, a balance of heart and reach. Historians still argue whether technology enhances sacred snack chanting, preserving it through digital archives, or risks diluting its sacredness, turning myths into data. You're leaning toward enhancement, sensing the elder's pride, his chant akin to the Inca farmers' tech-aided quinoa chants, both adapting to modernity while guarding their soul. Though here it's snacks, not grains, that hold the art. You sit by the station, the bread's flavor lingering the elder's chants, spirits trays peace, rising with the center's quiet, each one a verse blending ancient wisdom with digital tools shared across apps and webinars. The teenage volunteer now bolder uploads a skyrest animation, her chant syncing with an app's rhythm drawing virtual cheers. You yawn, the screen's glow, and the elder's chants blending with the hum of a nearby printer, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that tray mode app, its tech-crafted myth a modern echo, and realize this craft isn't just preservation, it's evolution. Each note a spark like the Persian priest's 3D rendered rites, both weaving tradition into the future. You notice a student testing a market rest hymn on a meditation app, her voice clear, the elder nodding their exchange, a vow to keep the myths alive. The center's warmth binds them, each tale a shared story, their voices a legacy that carries the city's heart. You laugh again, picturing your local wellness coach using tray mode apps. Sorry, mate, you'd flop with glitchy Zen blues. The bakery's defiance and cultural revival feel close, but the snack chant's modern fusion is the city's heartbeat, nourishing souls where others might falter. You linger by the station, the snack chant's rhythm a gentle pulse, and you're ready to join the cultural revival of these verses, their resurgence waiting in the vibrant glow of modern Roman festivals. You've left the cultural center's cozy warmth behind its digital snack myths, now a gentle echo, and find yourself standing in a sunlit festival plaza, perhaps in Naples or a global hub like Florence in May 2025, where a cultural festival pulses with the rhythm of Italian folk drums and the scent of olive-infused artisan loaves. The crowd gathers around a stage where elders, vendors, and youth unite in a revival of sacred snack chants, their wave rest and hearth rest hymns soaring a testament to the resurgence of this ancient craft. You're here to join this revival where myths once whispered in secret against imperial reforms sing boldly again, weaving the Roman city's past into the present through performances, workshops, and shared melodies across global communities to soothe the sleepless. The beat of drums and the artisans' harmonious chants blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to feel this rebirth. You settle on a woven blanket, your sneakers tucked beside you, the plaza's warmth grounding you as you watch a young vendor. Her eyes, bright with passion, lead a sky path hymn in a translated Roman rhythm, chanting a tre's triumph over hardship. She guides a group of students who echo her with focus, their smartphones recording the myth for a digital archive, while elders nod their voices, weaving and blending tradition with the buzz of modern tools. Historical records note that since the late 20th century, Roman snack chanting traditions have seen a cultural revival sparked by global interest in preservation efforts, with festivals in Italy reclaiming myths from imperial suppression for modern audiences. You feel the vibrancy of this revival, each tale a spark, its melody a bridge. From Roman bathhouses to today's stages far beyond the Viking woven revivals or Egyptian desert festivals. You smirk as a teenage boy, a digital echo of the tech-tangling volunteer, tries to live stream his wave rest hymn, but flubs a verse, giggling as his friends cheer him on with claps. "Keep it smooth, myth streamer," you mutter, chuckling at his playful shrug. The quirky truth is that some revival workshops use augmented reality headsets to simulate Roman snack stalls, teaching myths by immersing learners in digital tray patterns, with a 2024 Naples AR program featuring a hearth rest hymn boosting engagement in cultural schools. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga wincing at a scroll full of AR snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you see the elders' pride, their chants a living art, their melodies a spark that defies centuries of silence, not unlike the Mali and Griot's Kora festival revivals. The young vendor shifts to a crumb pulse sky tale, her voice rising with the myth's rhythm, the students harmonizing their hands, tracing virtual spiral motifs in the air, their phones uploading the moment to a global cultural heritage site. You lean closer, the olive oil's smoky aroma curling around you, and accept a piece of artisan focaccia from a vendor, its chewy tang grounding you as you hum the sky path verse, stumbling, but earning a clap from a girl. You laugh softly, imagining reviving your childhood bedtime stories with AR. Yeah, you'd get glitchy nostalgia blues in a mess. The Roman revival is different. Its snack chants a vibrant thread far beyond the Byzantine folder's petty disputes over dates or the Vikings' knot chants which seem trivial against this cultural awakening. The festival's energy surrounds you, a child's laughter rising, a drone filming the stage, but the vendors' myths are beacons, their melodies sparking connection in a digital age. You wander to a workshop tent where elders teach a sea rest chant, their voices guiding youth who practice with digital styluses, their tablets archiving the melody for future generations. The act is a celebration, the myths not just tales but a vow to reclaim identity, uniting communities across the globe. Historians still argue whether this revival is primarily cultural preserving Roman heritage or practical equipping modern vendors with ancestral skills. You're leaning toward cultural sensing, the festival's passion, their chants akin to the Inca Quinoa chant, revivals both reclaiming identity through shared art, though here it's snacks, not grains, that carry the soul. You sit by the tent, the focaccia's tang lingering the vendor's chant spirits, trays peace rising with the plaza's breeze, each one a verse revived from ancient bakeries shared across workshops and screens. The teenage boy, now confident, live streams his hearth rest, chant his voice, clear, drawing virtual applause from afar. You yawn, the drums strum, and the workshop's chants blending with the festival's lively buzz, a soothing hum that tugs at your eyelids. You think back to that Hearthrest AR program, its digital verse a modern spark, and realize this revival isn't just preservation, it's rebirth, each note a spark, like the Persian priest festival tales, both weaving tradition into the present. You notice an elder sharing a wave rest tale, her voice steady, the young vendor nodding their exchange a vow to keep the myths alive. The tense warmth binds them, each tale a shared story. Their voice is a legacy that carries the city's heart. You laugh again, picturing your local festival with AR snack karaoke. Sorry folks, you'd flop with pixelated pitch blues. The cultural center's fusion and bakery's defiance feel close, but the snack chant's revival is the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others would falter. You linger by the tent, the snack chant's rhythm a gentle pulse, and you're ready to reflect on the global wisdom of these verses, their universal lessons waiting in the quiet of a baked night. You've left the festival plaza's lively chants behind their rhythmic snack myths, now a warm memory, and find yourself seated on a grassy hill, overlooking a modern Italian city, perhaps Naples or Florence in May 2025, where the twilight sky shimmers with the first stars, their light mingling with the city's gentle glow below. The air is cool, scented with fresh baked bread and distant sea salt, the faint hum of evening traffic, a soft backdrop to the echo of wave rest and sky path hymns lingering in your heart. You're here to reflect on the global wisdom of these sacred snack chants, their lessons of resilience, memory, and connection, resonating far beyond the Roman city's steamy bathhouses, offering truths for a world navigating change. The rustle of grass and the faint murmur of a distant chant blend into a soothing hum, and you're ready to trace this universal light. You settle on the soft earth, your jacket a cushion, the horizon's glow fading as you think of the sacred snack chants, their melodies sliced through centuries of storms, imperial reforms, and modern revival. These tales with their hearth and market hymns carry wisdom that transcends their origins, resilience like the elders' defiance against commercial baking, memory preserved in fragile voices, and connection binding communities through shared trays. Historical records note that Roman snack chanting, rooted in sacred rituals for over a century across the empire, reflects a deep cultural resilience, their myths adapting to challenges like commercialization and time offering, a model for global communities facing modern crises like cultural erosion or digital overload. You feel the weight of these lessons, each chant a spark its wisdom, a guide for any soul charting uncertain paths, far beyond the Vikings' woven insights or Egyptian desert truths. You smirk, imagining the teenage myth streamer teaching her wave rest hymn to a Tokyo classroom, her TikTok flair probably sparking more laughs than awe. Keep it, universal story vendor, you mutter, chuckling at the thought. The quirky truth is that Roman snack chants have inspired global cultural initiatives, with bakers in Italy and Brazil citing their calming elegance. One 2024 project in Florence adapting a hearth rest hymn for a community wellness app. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga wincing at a scroll full of global snack tales and grin, but the humor fades as you feel the chants reach their lessons. A beacon for a fragmented world, unlike the folder's fleeting disputes over dates, or the Vikings' title tales which seem trivial against this timeless wisdom. The wisdom lies in harmony, resilience to endure like the elders' veiled pulses through reform's pressures, memory to hold fast like the children's bite tosses and elders' crumb markers, connection to unite like the festivals and traded myths binding Roman clans. You think of the Roman matron's hearth rest hymn, its verse a reminder to adapt, yet stay rooted, a lesson for communities facing global shifts or fading traditions. In a world of fleeting trends and digital noise, this wisdom feels vital, a call to slice art into survival, to listen to the past. Historians still argue whether the snack chant's lessons are universal, applicable globally, or tied to Rome's unique culture, a treasure not easily shared. You're leaning toward universal feeling, their truths echo in every struggle to endure, like the Inca quinoa chants shared stories, both guiding through communal bonds, though here it's snacks, not grains, that carry the heart. You lean back, the stars brightening their patterns, a map the Roman elders sliced into eternity, a reminder of humanity's shared sky. The modern revival, with its AR workshops and podcasted myths, shows adaptation without loss, a lesson for societies balancing tech and tradition. You laugh softly, imagining applying this wisdom to your life. Yeah, you'd be humming work, stress, blues, and stuck. The Roman craft is a gift, its lessons of memory and connection, a guide where the Byzantine folder's rigid system crumbled. You think back to that Florence hearth rest app, its chant a global spark, and see the myth's heart, a way to navigate life's storms with grace uniting us all. The hill's silence wraps you broken by a distant car's hum. The starlights echo a memory in your soul. You picture the festival, the young girl's bold sky path hymn, the elders' proud nod, and feel their wisdom ripple outward to classrooms, festivals' hearts, wherever people seek to endure and connect. You yawn, the breezes whisper, and the stars' quiet glow blending with the city's faint hum, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. The myth's lessons are a bridge linking Roman elders to your world, a reminder to hold memory tight, to weave art into survival, no matter the tempest, like the Malian griot's Cora verses. You glance at the city below, where lights gleam, their snack chants echoing across borders, ready for journeys yet to come. The stars feel closer, their light a universal map tying you to the Roman elders, to ancestors, to all who chant the night's myths. You laugh again, picturing botching a wave rest chant at a campfire. Sorry, storyteller. I'm no myth vendor, just a dreamer. The cultural center's tech and festival's revival feel close, but the snack chant's wisdom is the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others falter. You linger on the hill, the snack chant's wisdom a gentle hum, their lessons a quiet beacon, and you're ready to connect these ancient melodies to future dreams, their timeless voice waiting in the baked hush. You're still perched on the grassy hill overlooking the modern Italian city, perhaps Naples or Florence, in May 2025, the twilight deepening into a velvet night, where stars blaze above their patterns, a celestial tapestry mirrored in the city's gentle glow below. The air is cool, scented with fresh baked bread and distant sea salt, the faint hum of traffic carrying whispers of hearth rest and market path hymns from the festival's revival. You're here to connect the past snack melodies to future dreams. The timeless voice of these sacred chants weaving a thread from ancient Roman bathhouses to generations yet to slice their calming serenity. The rustle of grass and the soft hum of a distant chant blend into a soothing cadence, and you're ready to feel this eternal flow. You settle deeper into the earth, your jacket a soft cradle. The stars light a gentle guide as you think of the sacred snack chants, their melodies of sky path and wave rest, hummed through centuries of storms, imperial reform, and digital rebirth. This craft speaks across time, resilience against cultural tides, memory preserved in voices, hope for a world where tradition and innovation slice together. Historical records note that Roman snack chanting, rooted in sacred rituals for over a century across the empire, has endured through adaptation, their myths surviving suppression to inspire modern audiences, and beyond a testament to cultural continuity. You feel the timelessness of this voice, each tale a spark, its melody binding the past's steamy hearths to the future's dreams, guiding through uncertainty like a sliced path far beyond the Vikings' woven legacies or Inca's quinoa tales. You smirk, imagining the teenage myth streamer teaching her hearthrest hymn to her own children someday. Perhaps with a holographic app, projecting spiral motifs, her social media filters long faded but her melody alive. Keep it timeless verse vendor, you mutter, chuckling at the thought. The quirky truth is that modern cultural leaders envision smart tray archives where AI aids communities by suggesting myth variations, with a 2024 prototype syncing a skypath melody to real-time translations for global audiences. You picture Paulus from that Byzantine folder saga wincing at a scroll full of AI-guided snack tales and grin, but the humor softens as you feel the chant's eternal voice, their melodies a bridge from ancient festivals to future gatherings, like the Malian griot's Cora songs, linking past to present, though here it's snacks, not strings, that carry the soul. The timeless voice sings of connection to Vesta. The stars each other a lesson for a world racing toward disconnection. You think of the festival's wave rest hymn, its verse a promise to endure and see its hope. A future where storytellers like the center's youth carry these melodies, blending them with tech to slice new dreams. The resilience of this craft, from hidden tavern chants to AR apps, offers a vow that memory and community can outlast any storm. Historians still argue whether Roman snack chants will remain a living art, shaping future dreams, or become a cherished relic, preserved but static. You're leaning toward living art, feeling the festival spark its myths, akin to the Inca quinoa chant's eternal heart, both guiding through adaptation, though here it's chanting not grains that endures. You lean back, the stars blazing their map, a mirror of the snack chant's hymns, a reminder that every myth from hearth to sky is a gift across time. The modern revival with its snack jams and live-streamed tales shows a future where stories live in schools, homes, and hearts, a hope for generations to come. You laugh softly, imagining your own future. Yeah, you'd be mumbling app crash blues instead of a snack myth. The Roman craft is a beacon, its voice a reminder to hold traditions tight while embracing change, a wisdom that outshines the Byzantine folders' fragile disputes, lost to chaos, while these snack chants endure. The hills' silence enfolds you, broken by a distant owl's call. The starlights echo a memory in your soul. You picture the festival, the young girl's steady crumb pulse chant the elders' trust and feel their voice ripple forward to future vendors, poets, dreamers, all chanting the night's myths. You yawn, the breezes whisper, and the stars glow, blending with the city's faint hum, a soothing hum that pulls you deeper. You think of that Skypath AI prototype, its spark carried through time, and see the chant's timeless heart, a melody of hope, connecting past to future, city to world like the Malian griot's river of song. You glance at the city below, where lights gleam, their snack chants echoing into tomorrow, ready for journeys yet unseen. The stars feel alive, their light a universal map tying you to the Roman elders, to ancestors, to futures unborn. You laugh again, picturing botching a hearth rest chant in your backyard. Sorry, storyteller. I'm no myth vendor, just a dreamer. The festival's revival and cultural center's tech feel close, but the snack chant's timeless voice is the city's heartbeat, nurturing souls where others falter. You linger on the hill, the snack chant's voice a gentle hum, their melodies a quiet promise, and you're ready to drift into dreams carried by this celestial song, its eternal light waiting in the night's soft embrace. You're resting on the grassy hill overlooking the modern Italian city, perhaps Naples or Florence in May 2025. The night now deep, the stars above a shimmering tapestry that mirrors the city's gentle glow below, where the faint echo of hearth rest and skypath hymns lingers from the festival's revival. The air is cool, scented with fresh baked bread and distant sea salt, the soft hum of traffic, a tender lullaby carrying whispers of wave rest tales. You're here to drift into dreams, letting the timeless voice of sacred snack chants carry you to rest their melodies, a soothing embrace for your weary soul, weaving past, present, and future into one. The rustle of grass and the chant's rhythm blend into a soothing cadence, and you're ready to surrender to their peace. You sink deeper into the earth, your jacket a cocoon. The stars light a gentle blanket as you think of the sacred snack chants, their golden melodies sliced through centuries of Roman bathhouses, imperial shadows, and modern rebirth. You see the ancient elder in her torchlit bakery, her wave rest hymn defying market reforms, the trader sharing a skypath melody across dusty routes, the modern festival's young poet live streaming her hearth verse, each a note in a timeless song. Historical records note that Roman snack chanting, born over a century ago across the empire, remains a cultural heartbeat, their myths enduring through hardship, suppression, and adaptation, a testament to human spirit across the globe. You feel their warmth, each melody a promise that shines like the stars, unlike the Byzantine folders, codices lost to dust, or the Vikings' woven myths, vibrant yet distant. You smile, imagining the teenage myth streamer, now a distant light in your mind, teaching her hearth rest hymn to her family years. Hence her AR app syncing with the city's breeze, her children learning its rhythm. Keep shining hope, vendor. You whisper, a soft chuckle fading into the night. The quirky truth is that Roman snack chants have sparked global dreams, with the 2024 festival in Naples weaving skypath verses into a virtual reality experience shared to honor cultural resilience. You picture Paulus wincing at a scroll of virtual snack tales and grin, but the thought softens as you feel the chant's universal embrace, their wisdom, a lullaby not just for the city, but for you here. Now drifting towards sleep, like the Malian griot's Kora chants soothing coastal nights. The chant's voice sings of hope to honor Vesta, to hold memory close, to connect through art, a lesson that wraps you like the festival's harmony, guiding you through life's uncertainties. You see the cultural center's unity. The elders sea rest chant the child's bite-toss games and know their melodies will endure in festivals. Apps or hearts a chant that carries the world forward. Historians may debate whether these chants will shape future dreams or rest as heritage. But you rest easy feeling their truth as both a craft that feeds past and hopes alike, far beyond the Byzantine folder's fleeting order. Your home in their verse, its starlight a gentle tide pulling you to rest, distinct from the Inca quinoa chant's earthy pulse. You close your eyes, the stars blurring into a soft glow, their celestial map a guide the Roman elders sliced into eternity. You think of the festival, the young girl's steady voice, the elders' trust and feel their hope. Ripple through you a promise that every tale, every star finds its place. You laugh one last time, imagining botching a sky path chant at a picnic. Sorry, storyteller, I'm no star vendor, just a dreamer. The hill's silence cradles you, its breeze a distant lullaby. The starlight's echo a memory that soothes your soul. You yawn, the night's whisper gone, the city's breath a tender hum blending with the star's light, pulling you deeper into peace. You sink into the grass, the hill's coolness fading the stars' dance a final gift. The sacred snack chants with their hearth and wave are a timeless voice, binding ancestors to futures, city to world, you to dreams. You see the trade routes, the festivals, the centers all gleaming with hope, their melodies eternal in the elders' art. You feel a pang remembering the Byzantine folder's fall, but the snack chants endure their resilience, a beacon in your heart. The stars blur their light, a blanket, the night's voice, a whisper of rest, carrying you where no storm can reach. You linger on the hill, the chant's melody a gentle hum, their verses fading into the night's soft breath, a lullaby that holds you close. The world stretches vast, its mysteries softened, but the sacred snack chants light your way, their timeless voice a path to dreams where all wanderers find peace. You feel their embrace the hill, a haven in the dark, and you let go carried by the Roman song. The stars guide you, their echo a final pull, and you drift into sleep, the scent of yeast and the chant's rhythm a lullaby in the Romans' endless night. And so, dear wanderer, the tale of sacred snack chants draws to its close, their melody softening, like the last hums of a tray under twilight. You're still on that grassy hill, the modern night now deep, the city's glow a gentle caress, the breeze a distant lullaby. The chant's journey born in ancient Roman bathhouses, carried through reformed shadows, revived in modern festivals, wraps you in warmth. A reminder that every voice from torchlit elder to dreamer finds its place in the timeless song. Let the weight of the folk drums pulse, the flicker of the festival's lamps, the echo of hearth and sky all fade into a quiet peace. You're safe here, held by the city's embrace, the promise of resilience and connection. The stars above whisper, rest their light a soft veil, and the sliced glow cradles you a final gift from a people who baked snacks into life. Drift, now let the world slip away and sink into dreams as gentle as a bathhouse's steam. Sleep well, sweet soul, sleep well.